Dragon Ball Apprentice Angel Chapter 281-300. Chapter 281 Number 21, Make a Choice. How is her level? Bulma asked again. The level should be okay, but I don't know much about technology, you can see for yourself. Roger laughed. In fact, Roger did not point out that Bulma could develop an ascension instrument in the realm of the true gods. That is the realm of true gods that only angels can possess. As a human being, can you really research how to improve the realm of true gods as soon as possible? Roger had to find something for Bulma to do, though. Give her a little real god domain, let's study slowly. Better than idle dads. Hey, who do you think you are? Number 21 is so angry that her nose is crooked, and you are actually arranging for me. Don't you know how strong I am? Forget it, let me give you some color. Except for number 16, everyone was dumbfounded. Who is he? You are going to fall. The poor woman. Don't even know who Roger is. Okay, this is the end of today's banquet. Roger got up and Roger turned into a colorful flame. The speed of the colorful flames was simply too fast, and he stepped forward and swept away number 21. Roger rushed to the sky with number 21. The next moment, Roger's rapid spiral flight. 21st, I felt dizzy for a while and felt that my whole body was not well. Roger stopped in the starry sky. 21st, many little stars appeared in front of him, and his body was staggered, and he was lying on Roger's body at that time. So sad. Now, do you know who I am? Roger asked. 21 shook his head in confusion. Come again, Roger said, grabbing number 21 feet's wrist and soaring through the stars again after 10 minutes. Now what? Know who I am? Roger asked again. I know, I almost vomited on the 21st. Tell me about it. Roger smiled. You made me slow down on the 21st so my chest was heaving up and down. Can toss. The first time I saw a person flying in circles. 20 seconds later. I can't spare you. On the 21st, he was almost recovering, and his aura burst out crazily. Roger also had to fight with number 21, grabbed her arm, and flew again in a spiral shape. 21 was furious. However, it is of no use. Another time in the starry sky. Roger taps number 21 on the head with a scepter. 21st, the beauty was pale at the time. 21 clearly saw that Roger used a scepter to turn a bed into scum. 21 felt that there must be something wrong with this scepter. Maybe it has some special shafa. It's okay. Two choices. The first choice, go back to Earth by yourself and be Bulma's assistant. The second choice, disappear. Roger restrained his playful smile, looked at number 21 and said lightly, don't tell you how powerful you are, I'm the greatest god in the entire universe. With a wave of my hand, a universe will vanish into thin air. 21 no, looked at Roger suspiciously. You waved your hand lightly, and a universe vanished into thin air. I still take a breath, there is no universe left. Look, you don't believe me when I tell you the truth. Roger slapped his head. If that's the case, I'd better get rid of you. Wait a minute, I'll choose the first one. Number 21 hurriedly said. 21 is not stupid. A person who can bring himself to be used clearly in this starry sky, if he is not a god, what can he do wrong? He really can't beat him. Yes, number 21 felt that he really underestimated this man named Roger. I should agree to him first, go back to Bulma and ask him to find out the true identity of Roger. Fly back by yourself, I know you have a way. After Roger finished saying this, the 21st kicked Rui on the 21st and drew an arc in the starry sky, and disappeared quickly. You clearly let me fly back by myself. What do you mean by kicking me? Roger sighed slightly. Are you being a little too cruel? 21 is a girl after all. Roger ignored the matter of number 21, but took out his scepter and contacted Roger Vados. How shameless you are. Vados knew what Roger was going to say, so a wicked person came to sue you for being shameless, and you made trouble unreasonably. Roger replied. I didn't say you're being unreasonable. What is your answer? 0 flowers. Why am I being unreasonable? If Vados asks you with a black face, you are shameless, and you are unreasonable. Roger said. I ask you, you and Weiss, are you embarrassed watching Beerus make a scene at Bulma's birthday party? Roger asked. Vados language. I clearly wanted to raise the issue that he had the 9th class food that he didn't give us to eat, but it was messed up by this kid who was shameless and unreasonable. And now to bring up the 9th class food, Vados feels a little powerless again. Cough, Beerus is just making a fuss. I remember a long time ago, couples who got married on Earth would have a bridal chamber. Even today, this custom of making bridal chambers is still passed down. When Vados turned his head, he had already thought of the rhetoric. So, Beerus makes such a fuss. It is still very meaningful for Bulma's birthday party. At least, let Bulma have a memorable birthday party, isn't it? Okay, then let me ask you, what do you mean by threatening Bulma? Roger asked me again, how did I threaten her? Vados asks. You really don't remember? Roger snorted coldly. Or can you give me a hint? Vados laughed, and I thought about it carefully. You are not a threat, and I don't care about you. Roger suddenly changed his rhetoric. Besides, we are gods, threatening a human being, and then what kind of? Vados. Your brain circuit is so big. I can't keep up with your rhythm. However, Vados is still very wary. What does Roger mean by saying this? Come here, I have something to discuss with you. Greeted Roger. What's up? Vados asked. If there is something to say directly on video, you don't have to go to you alone, right? How? Are you still afraid that I will embarrass you? Roger smiled. What can I do to you? Besides, I'm not interested in women like you. I only like girls with yellow skin. Vados was immediately furious. This day, the angel of heaven is right for the country, but you still don't like it. You still dislike this angel's blue skin. Angels all have blue skin, okay. You and Ruosi are special. Hate is too individual. You are a genius, remember in a second. Chapter 282 Vados. Number 21, this angel will take you to fly. I'm going over here. Vados replied with a dark face, intending to bring the core over when the China-Singapore call came. Roger said. Vados. Get it around, you want the core. HMPH, I just don't give it to you. Vados turned into a colorful flame and flew towards Roger's direction. Roger had already appeared at the junction of the 6th universe and the 7th universe. Therefore, Vados came soon. Luo. Forget. Vados replied with a dark face. Tell me, why did you call me here? Roger's scepter pointed at Vados' clothes, and when he said something, Vados's clothes burst open. Okay, it's all right, said Roger. 550 Vados. Goodbye. Roger waved his hand, turned into a colorful streamer, and disappeared quickly and disappeared. Vados looked at Roger's disappearing back and jumped like thunder. Did you call me all the way here just to explode my clothes? You are so toothless, Roger. Vados was so angry that his chest was covered up and down. He lowered his head, his face turned red, and he hurriedly restored his clothes. Vados is around. Since he has already come out, it will be a bit boring to go back. Or, go to the Earth of the 7th universe and ask Bulma to order the 9th class food. That's a good idea. If Bulma doesn't give me the 9th class food, I'll explode her clothes. Just do it. Vados immediately turned into a colorful flame, and disappeared in a flash. Flying Fei Ruo, Vados suddenly felt that something was wrong. Ordinarily, at his own speed, he should be able to see Roger in front of him. Why is Roger not in front? Just when Vados guessed what Roger was doing, he suddenly discovered that a woman in a plaid shirt appeared in front of him, flying desperately in the universe. Hello. Vados caught up and said hello. Number 21 was a little stunned and nodded. Where are you going? Bardos asked. Earth. 21 says. At your flying speed, if you reach the Earth. I count. It will take 3 months. 21 Vados Road. Why don't I take you there? Vados asked. How long will it take you to fly over? Number 21 couldn't help asking. If I fly, it will only take 5 minutes. Vados smiled and said that number 21 felt 10,000 points of critical damage. Who is this woman? Also, am I all this far from Earth? Roger seems to take me on a flight, and it only took about 5 minutes, right? Is this woman's speed the same as Roger's? Who is this woman? Oh, did Roger bring you here? Vados read number 21's inner thoughts through mind reading. I am Roger's nemesis, let's go, I will take you back to Earth. Vados took number 21 and accelerated the flight. Soon, Vados landed at Bulma's home. At this time, everyone at the banquet had almost dispersed. Except for a few people, such as Sun Wukong and others, they have all left one after another. It's not that they want to leave immediately, but Beerus is still kneeling there. So if you are a little bit more sensible, you will quickly get away. It's okay for the god of destruction to kneel on Roger, but they are all human, so it's not good to let a god kneel on his own. Vados, our banquet is over. Bulma greeted Vados. It's okay, it doesn't matter if the banquet is over, I'm here to eat the 9th class food. Vados smiled and smiled at the 9-level food, but you can't eat it if you want. Bulma said with a smile, this one has to prepare various materials in advance, and also has to invite a special chef to cook it. Vados put his small mouth close to Bulma's ear and whispered a few words on Bulma's eyelids again. This shameless angel. You threaten me again. No, Bulma looked left and right, except for Vados and number 21, there is no 4th person in this room. What should I be afraid of? I have too many clothes. Break. The magic power of the scepter emerges in the hands of Vados. Bulma's clothes burst open at that time. It's not that I want to burst, it's that I'm out of control. However, after Vados blasted Bulma's clothes, Chu-Ran found that she was still wearing a set of close-fitting clothes. Wow, can't think of it. Bulma happily akimbo laughing. What the hell, where did I come to? Are you bored? Bulma quickly got dressed. No, to be precise, it was Duoer who quickly transformed into clothes, dressed neatly ha ha ha, just kidding, kidding. Vados said with a laugh, is there such a joke? Bulma stared. 21. Enough of you. At this time, I saw the Realm King God Shine appearing at the scene with a flash. Lord Realm God, what's the matter? Vados was stunned for a while, and saved the world from asking the God of the King. It was sent back by you on the 21st. Angel Roger already knew. Angel Roger told me to let me send her back and fly by myself. The helplessness on the face, I feel that Vados can really meddle in his own business. What are you doing when you bring back number 21? I have to send it back. Trouble making. Please let Vados have no objection. Vados came to Earth to eat the 9th class food, and she brought back number 21. As for the conflict between number 21 and Roger. 1.8 There are too many people who have conflicts with Roger, can you still win them over one by one? Even if they are drawn over, is it useful? It's a problem that can be solved by many people. What do you mean on the 21st? I finally came to Earth, did you make a mistake in sending me back to the Earth again? Xian put his hand on number 21's shoulder, and through teleportation, he disappeared in a flash. When number 21 came back to his senses, he was surprised to find that he had returned to the space just now. Goodbye. Xian waved his hand, and the figure disappeared in a flash. 21st_. Just when Vados returned to Earth with number 21, Roger turned into a bright colorful flame, which appeared in the 6th universe, the Elephant Planet. You are a genius, remember in a second. Chapter 283 Vados, you make this angel dance that kind of dance. Are you Elephant Pa, the god of destruction in the 6th universe? Roger turned to Shangpa and asked you. Are you Roger? Shangpa also responded quickly, and quickly asked back, I'm Roger. Roger nodded. Yes, I am Changpa, the god of destruction in the 6th universe. Elephant Pa said what he said, but Shangpa drummed in his heart. How did Roger come to my planet? What do you want to do too? Vados, how about you? Come back quickly. Roger has come to our planet. This is bad. I heard that the core of my universe has always been taken care of by you. Roger smiled and looked at Shangpa, and Shangpa shivered. Roger is here for the core of the universe. Shangpa is still very sensible, and without the slightest hesitation, he directly took out the core of the universe. Shangpa core of the universe has long been separated from his body. At this time, a star is now in his hands. Pa thought about it. I won't be so stupid. This thing will be Roger's sooner or later. It's more appropriate to give my hands to him than to be beaten by him and then give to him. I won't be like Beerus, who can sleep like by Roger did not immediately pick up the core of the sixth universe, but just glanced at the core of the sixth universe, which looks like a 4-star Dragon Ball. A streak of golden light flashed. And at the center of these golden glows, there are 4 slowly rotating golden 5-pointed star cores that radiate endless life force at the moment when they appear. Is this the core of the sixth universe? It's kind of interesting, but it's very similar to the 4-star Dragon Ball. Roger smiled and said that the 6th and 7th universes were associated universes, and there was an inextricable connection between the 2 universes. Shangpao smiled and replied, so the core of the 6th universe also has a certain relationship with the core of the 7th universe. Because the Dragon Realm is relatively close to our 2 universes, the cores of our 2 universes are also easy to wander to give birth to creatures related to the Dragon Realm. The core of the 7th universe is a small green dragon, and the core of our universe is the 4-star Dragon Ball. The 2 represent the core of the entire Dragon Ball world. You said, if I took away the core of the 6th universe, what would the 6th universe be like? Roger asked. If the core of the universe is gone, and the 6th universe can survive for at most 1,000 years. Shangpa said with a wry smile. You are a genius, can you not know? So, if I take away the core of the 6th universe, it would be a bit unkind, right? Roger scratched his head, you know, and said. Shangpa muttered in his heart. But it's hard to say such things as Paco. Just think about it. In fact, I am still a very kind person. Or else, the core thing, I will give you another machine. Roger pondered. Roger Angel, please speak. Shangpa hurriedly bowed. You find 5 human beings and 5 human warriors in our universe, and come to a roster competition. If you are rooted in the core of the universe, you can stay. Roger laughed. Elephant paw tears are about to fall. Heroes see the same way. I'm planning this, why does Roger have this idea too? Shangpa suddenly felt that his previous plan was a bit redundant. Knowing that Roger thought the same way, why would I spend so much effort? Then if we succumb, I am the god of destruction, and I don't have the power of destruction in the realm of the true god. You don't like it, right? Shangpa said with a wry smile. Of course, if the power of destruction is placed in front of me, I will defiantly pick it up. Roger nodded. Heart like Pazza. Then I really don't have anything to come up with. How vulgar is Shangpa's wry smile. Suji smiled. If you lose, would you ask Vados to do a pole dance for me? How to be like Papa? Let Vados dance pole. If I say yes, will Vados kill me? Also, let Vados dance pole. This is more vulgar than asking for something, haha. Angel Roger, although I also want to compete with you, but I know that our 6th universe is not your 7th universe human fighting opponent. Shangpasan smiled. If nothing else, just the Brawly of your universe can hang and beat all the human beings in our 6th universe. Brawly may not participate. Roger thought for a while, nodded, and Bardock could also hang us. Shangpa continued. Roger slapped the elephant to the ground with a slap. Then, Roger put his big foot on Shangpa's chest. So sad. I was actually beaten and said, who else can hang and beat all the human beings in your 6th universe? Asked Roger. No, except for the 2 of them, everyone can participate in the competition. Shangpa was about to cry, and gritted his teeth and added, but Bei Gun Gun can't use gloves. Bei Gun Gun, is that your name too? Roger kicked the elephant hard. Shankpa gasped in pain. Well, I can promise you. Roger nodded thoughtfully. Give you 3 days. 3 days later, gather on the planet Beerus. No problem, Shankpa responded quickly. Roger turned into a bright colorful flame, broke through the void, and disappeared in a flash. Seeing Roger leaving, Shankpa also hurriedly called Vados. What? Suji went to our universe. Vados paled. What did he do? Apart from feasting on me, I didn't do anything else too much. Shankpa smiled wryly. That's good, that's good. Vados couldn't stand up to the 9th class food at this time, and immediately turned into a colorful flame, quickly rushed into the sky, and flew in the direction of the 6th universe. 5 minutes later, Roger and Vados meet in the stars. Fat, Vados, Roger beckoned. Your sister. Vados, the zipper on the side of your dress is open. Roger Dobardos rolled his eyes. Your angel costume only has a zipper. Even though he thought so, Vados did feel the chill on the side of his chest. Vados bowed his head. I go. When did the angel god install an extra zipper? I fight with you. However, Roger has disappeared quickly. Vados didn't mean to track Roger either. She had to return to the 6th universe as soon as possible, so as to teach a few humans, so that they could win the competition. This is the best chance to win back the core. Not right. If we lose, what does Roger want? Vados suddenly thought of this problem. Vados increased the speed to the extreme. Elephant Planet. You mean if we lose, I'm going to give him an hour of pole dancing? Asked Vados. You are a genius, remember in a second. Chapter 284 King Quan. Great Priest, you look bad. What is Gangzung dance? Asked Vados. Elephant Paw fell to the ground. Great it, I'll find it myself. Vados said. Through the scepter, he quickly found a video of pole dancing. Vados's wrist became popular at that time. Hateful. Vados hit Shankpa's head with a scepter, and Shankpa fell to the ground in a daze, feeling that the whole person was not well. Shankpa, do you want this angel to dance like this? Vados angrily said that I have no way to tell. I don't have the right to choose. Elephant Paw is about to cry. The choice is on Roger's side, okay. Either we don't. If you don't agree, the core of the universe will really be gone. Promised, the core may still be preserved. Vados thought about it. It seems, as Pa said. Vados, in fact, we will lose in the end. Elephant Pardo, Roger has promised us that Brawley and Bardock will not be there. Is he so confident? Vados was stunned, a little surprised. Wasn't Shankpa implementing a plan before? The plan was to let the humans of the 2 universes learn from each other. If so, I almost thought of it with Roger. The only difference is that the whole thing has become dominated by Suji. Originally, Vados wanted to hide this. Vados thought about it seriously, and felt more and more that things were not as easy as he thought. Since it was proposed by Roger, then Roger's chances of winning should be relatively high. Ruth's contest, regardless of Brawley and Bardock, aside from that Bei Gungun's strength, the rest of the people are generally just Bei Gungun. Such a powerful competition, the use of school sets is not allowed. Although Vados felt that his universe had a better chance of winning, but after careful consideration, he sent a video call to Weiss. Weiss quickly connected the phone to my sister. Weiss smiled bitterly. Weiss, what's your expression like? Vados saw that Weiss' expression was a little weird, so he couldn't help asking Vados hello. At that time, Vados saw Roger showing a smile and appeared in the projection of Weiss' scepter. Roger is also there. Vados smiled reluctantly. Well, since you have called Vados, I will save you the time to inform you. Roger smiled and said, if the 7th universe wins this human race, I don't want the core of the 7th universe, and I still leave it to Whis and Beerus. Likewise, if the 6th universe wins the game, I don't want the core of your 6th universe. Vados. So despicable. Are you trying to turn our siblings against each other? In fact, I am a very generous person, right? The core of the universe, if you say no, you don't want it. Roger laughed at Vados and took a deep breath. You are the core of the universe too much. You can't use it, okay? If you are so generous, return the scepter to me. Weiss is also sweating. It's as generous as you said. How many good things have you got from us? You have the ability to return the realm of true gods to us. Don't stop talking, just talk. Do you have any comments? Roger greeted Vados. Weiss. The competition that Roger organized this time is indeed very exciting. Anyway, at least he can return a core, right? Well, since you don't care, then it's fine. Roger shook his head slightly. Vados is in a hurry. Our silence means that we agree. Weiss also quickly said that I thought you would object if you didn't speak up. I explained it earlier. Roger smiled. Vados is so tragic. Roger is in charge now. They can only agree or disagree, just don't need the core. But, since there is a chance to get the core back, why not? On the 7th universe side, Bardock and Brawley are not allowed to participate in the competition, and the rest of the humans can participate. Roger added. I'm shooting myself in the foot. Why not let them play? They are also human beings in the 7th universe, okay. Ahem, if Bardock and Brawley don't participate in the competition, there must be 2 humans in the 6th universe who are not allowed to participate in the competition. Weiss feels unfair. Wes, what do you mean? Vados's dangerous moment is black. Well, Hidden Kai from the 6th universe are also not allowed to participate in the competition, so it is more fair. Weiss suggested. Vados stared. It's up to you, you decide this matter. I will not participate. Anyway, the loser will give me the core as soon as possible. After Roger finished saying this, he turned into a colorful flame and left Vados quickly. Roger is having fun. You two have a good fight with each other. Give up a core of the universe. Let Weiss and Vados have a little conflict. Roger is still very happy after Roger leaves. Wes, I'm your sister. This time you should let me. Let's win the game, right? Vados to Westow. Shouldn't the elder sister love the younger brother? How can a younger brother let an older sister? Weiss asked. Vados stared at Weiss angrily. Weiss has no words, no intention of giving in. Spirit World. Quanwang Writing Palace. Grand Priest, what happened? Your face doesn't seem very good. Quanwang asked Lord Quanwang. It's not a big deal. It was Wes and Vados who had a little conflict over the core matter. The Grand Priest laughed. Is it because of Roger again? King Quan sighed, shook his head and said, actually good Zhao Zhao, we really should have started the era of Archangels earlier. Wait a second, it's a little early to open now, it's not safe. The Great Priest pondered and said about Roger, if he can't, just satisfy his wish and give him an award. Lord Quanwang Dao, Lord Quanwang, have you stopped playing hide and seek recently? The Great Priest asked. Play. King Quan immediately came to the spirit. Okay, it's my turn to find you. Big Priest smiles. King Quan hurriedly found a place to hide. The Great Priest pretended to start looking for terror. Immediately afterwards, the figure of the Great Priest disappeared. In just an instant, the Great Priest appeared on the planet Beerus in the 7th universe. Meet the Great Priest. Weiss hurriedly saluted the Great Priest. Vados followed suit. Of course, there is no Great Priest today, only your father. The Great Priest said with a black face, Father, Father. Siblings salute again. You are a genius, remember in a second. Chapter 285 Grand Priest. Myers, Dad won't hit you this time. The two of you, arguing over a cosmic core, is that appropriate? The Great Priest asked that Vados did not speak. Weiss is silent. Let me tell you, it is very fair to be a father. The competition organized by Roger will be carried out as usual. No cheating is allowed, the Grand Priest ordered. Yes, my father. The two agreed together. Okay, let's do it first. As for the appearance of the Great Priest, the thoughtful father, if Bardock and Brawley appear, our universe will directly admit defeat. Vados is a little wronged. In this case, the two of them are not allowed to appear. The Great Shrine nodded, saw what Wes wanted to say, and waved. The human beings in the 7th universe have greatly improved their strength under Roger's blackness. Wes, apart from the two of them, do you really have no suitable candidates? You call it fair? The father took it clear that it was towards his sister. That's all. What am I talking about? No problem. Does Wes dare to agree or not? So far, we have to agree. The great priest 690 nodded slightly, and the figure became illusory. The priest disappeared. By the way, Weiss, if you lose, are there any additional conditions other than giving the core of the universe to Roger? Vados suddenly thought of something and asked. No. Weiss shook his head. Is there any additional conditions for my sister? No, Vados said angrily and cut off the call to Weiss directly. Sister, what's wrong with you? I'm just asking you an additional condition. Why are you angry? What happened today is clearly that you took advantage. Weiss doesn't understand. Galaxy Cruiser Headquarters, Myers' room. Myers, you are excellent. You've caught some more criminals in the galaxy, it's amazing. Gak has 10,000 adoration for Myers. Huh, nothing. Myers smiled. I'm a trainee angel, these criminals count as wool. But then, Myers' expression dimmed again. What a long time. There are many more angels. Don't know when it will be able to consume. Clean up. Myers' pupils shrank, and his face changed slightly. Gak, I'm going to rest. Myers rode. Rest? It's only 5 o'clock in the afternoon, are you going to bed so early? Jack looked at his watch and looked at Myers strangely. A little tired today. Myers smiled. Would you like me to tell a sleep story? Gak rolled with a grin. Myers' eyelids are dark. After Jake left, the figure of the great priest gradually emerged to meet the great priest. Myers bowed and saluted. Today, I am not a high priest. Myers salutes again. Get up. The grand priest nodded, sat on the sofa in the living room, and silently watched Myers pale with fright. Myers really wanted to break the window. But after weighing it up, it's okay. With his own strength, how could he possibly outrun the grand priest? I am afraid that among all the angels, only Roger, the battle angel, can run away. You seem scared. The grand priest squinted his eyes and looked at Myers' father. It is worthy of the children's respect. Myers replied. You don't have to be afraid, I'm not here to beat you this time. Grand Priest Dahmers didn't say a word. That's what you said last time. Then, you touched me. Who am I to talk to? The Grand Priest seemed to have read Melza's inner thoughts, and his face instantly turned black. What is the father looking for the child? Mers observed the words and expressions, and quickly and respectfully asked the Queen, the human beings in the 6th universe and the 7th universe are fighting to learn from each other. You should take someone to practice and practice, as a training experience. The great priest said. Good father. Myers nodded. Father hopes that the people you bring can beat the people who are like ribbons. The great shrine smiled. Yes, my father. Myers replied. All right, let's go. The great priest got up, the figure became blurred, and the great priest disappeared. Send the garlic to my father. Myers was a little surprised that I didn't pick up today. It's not like my father's style. But soon, Myers slapped himself on the forehead. How cheap am I, do I have to be? 3 days later, the human beings in the 6th universe and the 7th universe will have a discussion, which one should I take? First ask Weiss, who will participate in the game on the right. The 6th universe, like the PA planet. Vados, who is suitable for our universe to see the competition. Shampa asked, the candidates that can be decided at the moment are Hidden Kaylee. In fact, Caulifla is not bad. As long as you practice well, it may not be much worse. In addition to Caulifla, Frost is also a good candidate. But the last person is a bit difficult to choose. The 2 Nameks, Piranha and Sauna, are also excellent, but I think it is more suitable to choose the Saiyan. I think the 7th universe will also use the Saiyan. People. Vados pondered that if the Saiyans were to choose Gabe, Shampa suggested, he is also a very good warrior among the Saiyans. In this case, the candidates to appear are basically set. Hit, Kaylee, Gabe, Califra, Frost. Vados said the names of the players. All right, let them come here right now, shall we guide them? Elephant Paw replied. Can. Vados nodded. Just as he was talking, someone flashed and appeared beside Shampa and Vados to meet the great priest. When Shampa saw someone entering, he knelt down and saluted. Grand Priest. Vados bows and salutes. Get up. The Grand Priest looked indifferent. I already know that your appearance has been chosen by the Grand Priest. Is there a better choice? Vados moved in his heart and asked who to choose to fight. That's your own business, and I won't participate. I will teach a human being in the 7th universe to carry out special training. In this case, you can ask Ruosi to bring a person for special training too, Master Father Dong. Vados nodded. Gone. After the Grand Priest finished speaking, his body became impersonated again. The figure of the Grand Priest appeared in the palace of King Quan an hour later. I have found you, Lord Quanwang. The Great Priest found King Quan under a table. You are a genius, remember in a second. Chapter 286 Ruosi, Caulifla, practice with me. The 6th universe, Ruosi planet. This planet is a planet that Ruosi has experienced, a bit similar to the ancient Earth, and it is still in the age of cold weapons. Vados and Rose are on the phone. Sister, I'm a little smeared, how is it? The humans in the 6th universe and the 7th universe have begun to compete. Ruosi is a little puzzled. With a dark face, Vados had no choice but to tell Ruosi about the game that Roger was leading, and also said that Ruosi would personally lead someone for special training. Father, let me take a person for special training. Who should I take with you? Cauliflower. Ruosi thought about it and said to Vados. Caulifla is on the planet Sarada, you can find her. Vados said. Rose did not object. Sarada planet. Cauliflower is Tilda nibbling on a chicken leg. At this time, a colorful flame descended from the sky and landed near Caulifla. Caulifla took a big bite of chicken, and the beast looked at Ruosi who appeared here. Who are you? Asked Caulifla. My name is Ruosi, I am an angel, do you know an angel? Ruosi said that she did not know her identity. Caulifla shook in confusion. Stupid, angels are the greatest gods in this universe. Ruosi shouted that the greatest god in the universe isn't Mr. Shampa. Caulifla replied, what is Shampa? Angels are the greatest gods. Ross stared. Well, what are you looking for from me? Caulifla and Ruosi have been entangled with this little question for 3 days, and you will represent the humans in the 6th universe and the humans in the 7th universe. Ruosi said, in order for you to be able to win the game, you are lucky to be selected than me. From today, I will personally train you and make you stronger. I am already strong. Caulifla rolled her eyes. You try to attack me with all your strength. Is it true that Ruosi beckoned to Caulifla? Don't get hurt. Cryingla smiled and was relieved. Ruosi smiled indifferently. Boom. Caulifla didn't say much nonsense, and burst out with amazing energy. Then, Caulifla bombarded Ruosi with a powerful one-shot, only to hear an exclamation. Then, a figure flew out at that time. I saw Caulifla's body flew upside down for dozens of kilometers, and then stopped. Blood spurted from Caulifla's mouth, and she was on the verge of death. Jin Cake, my control of the power of angels is not very good, this is trouble. Ruosi was shocked, and hurriedly appeared beside Caulifla, and the realm of the true god emerged in her hand, covering Caulifla's body. So far, Caulifla's injury has improved. How about it? I said I am strong. Ross laughed at Caulifla. You are very powerful. You are killing me. Let's go, from now on, follow me to practice, I will definitely make you stronger. Rosita Caulifla is actually very excited, meeting such a powerful teacher, it is estimated that she will become more and more powerful. But you have to be careful about one thing. Rose road. What? Caulifla was stunned. I don't control my own strength very well, and sometimes if the strength is too high, you may die. Rose Dingyan, so, when the time is right, you hurry up and run to Califra. But don't worry, even if you die, I can bring you back to life. Rose added Califra. Can the dead be resurrected? It's amazing, isn't it? Elephant Planet. Hit, Kair, Frost, and Gabe have been brought to Kair by Vados. From today, you will follow me to practice. Vados said okay to Kair. Kair nodded. Master Elephant Pa, guide Gabe and Frost. Vados commanded, Hit, you understand and understand for yourself. Yes, Hit's head. 7th Universe, Earth, Bulma's home, do you know anything wrong? Roger knew that Beerus, who was kneeling on the ground, was wrong. Beerus said quickly. Where is wrong? Asked Roger. Beerus had to repeat the 100 mistakes he had made before. Can you say that again? Roger rode. 0 flowers, 0 Beerus. Bees had to repeat it again. Well, remember these mistakes firmly. If you dare to make them again in the future, it will not be as simple as kneeling. Roger reprimanded. Yes, Bizons nodded vigorously. Next, there will be a game between the 6th universe and the humans on the 7th. The universe can win. Luo. Competition. And the humans of the 6th universe. Beerus doesn't know about this yet. Go back and ask Whis, he knows very well. After Roger said this, he slapped Beerus with a big kick. Haven't I been kneeling for hours? Still fighting. Where does Beerus dare to say more? Hurry up, Beerus returned to his own planet clutching his stomach. Beerus-sama, are you all right? Weiss asked. Stop talking nonsense and give me treatment right away. Beerus is black with the risk of Dawes, and he clearly knows Roger's identity, but he didn't tell himself what he meant. If I knew Roger's identity earlier, would I still have to suffer? A beam of healing light hit Beerus, and Beerus' injuries were fully recovered. Beerus asks Weiss about the game. Sir Beerus, the humans on Earth have fought with you, and you feel the most. Who do you think is more suitable for the competition? Weiss asked. Does this game make sense? Vegeta alone can hang everyone in the 6th universe, right? Beerus laughs. If he wears that glove, even Elephant Pa is not his opponent, and the gauntlet is not allowed to be used in this competition. Weiss coughed. Then use the Potala earrings. The combination of Monkey King and Brawly is also very strong, but unfortunately the time is too short. Beerus pondered. Earrings are also not allowed. Weiss said. Beerus. A brief silence. Then let Brawly play. Although it is not as strong as Vegeta wearing gloves, it is still enough to hang the human warriors of the 1st universe. Beerus rode. Weiss. You are a genius, remember in a second. Chapter 287 Beerus, which immoral thing stipulates. How? You are talking, asked Bees. Brawly is an exception, not allowed to participate in the competition. Whis shook his head. What? Who ordered it? Beerus stared. No one has ever stipulated, you just continue to say it. Weiss is tired, then let Bardock play. Although he is not as strong as Brawly, but with Vegeta, there should be no problem than Ruth. Then, find 3 random people and defeat the 6th universe. Human warrior, isn't that easy? Weiss looked at Robiros and didn't say anything. Beerus seemed to realize something, his face changed color. Weiss, don't tell me, isn't even Bardock allowed to compete? Beerus asked confidently. Weiss nodded. What immoral thing prescribes this? I curse the baby he gave birth to without an ass. Beeps gritted his teeth. 653, said bitterly. Sri Lanka. After silence. It's what my father said. Weiss black eyelid. What? Beerus hadn't reacted yet. I said it was my father who said that Bardock and Brawly were not allowed to play. Vista, your father. Why should you care about the competition between our 2 universes? Weiss, father. Grand Priest. Beerus was dizzy at the time, rolled his eyes, passed out directly, and Whis stepped forward and kicked. Beerus woke up leisurely, with a look of no love for me. What did I just say? I have offended the Dajingu family. I won't be killed by them, will I? Beerus-sama, don't be afraid, I know you didn't mean to say that, and I won't tell the High Priest-sama about this. Weiss' expression was flat. Wes, thank you so much. Beerus quickly thanked him. Then, let's decide on a few candidates. Weiss said, Monkey King and Vegeta, it shouldn't be a big problem. Apart from the two of them, Sun Wukong's son is also very strong. In the past, that person named Boo can also be used as a contestant. But for the last candidate, who is more suitable? Boo, you mean the pink fat guy? Beerus asked. The pink fat man we call Mr. Boo. In addition to him, there is a little Boo, who is now traveling in the universe. Weiss said, Little Boo's fighting-minded wife is stronger than Mr. Boo. I'll find that little Boo later and bring him back. Beerus nodded. Now let's determine the last candidate. Westoberus was silent. There were only a few people who fought with me. I know who to choose. Let Mr. Monkey King choose, he knows his partner better than us. Weiss also had a big head, and for a while he didn't know how to choose, and then he instructed Beerus, Lord Beerus, you go and bring little Boo, I'll go to Sun Wukong and the others, it's easy to say. Bis readily agreed. Then, Beerus just looked at Whis so pitifully, is there anything wrong? Weiss asked. You really won't tell the great priest about what happened just now, right? Beerus lowered his voice and asked Beerus Big Entry, do you really understand or pretend you don't understand? Weiss sighed. What did you know? Beerus wondered. Don't you know, if you mention my father again and again, my father will be keenly aware and can check what happened before. If you don't say it, my father can't know everything. Weiss explained. Bees sweats on his eyelids. I actually forgot about such an important thing. Come on, but my father didn't sense that you mentioned him. Weiss persuaded Beerus to rise into the sky and quickly disappeared. After Beerus left, Whis contacted the Kaiyan god Shin. After that, Whis told the Kaiju god Heen what happened. Whis, do you mean, let me put both Goku and Vegeta on Beerus? Xian understands that there will be Lord Lao Ji Wangshan. Weiss nodded. You are welcome. Xian smiled slightly. Soon, Shine teleported and brought Sun Wukong and Vegeta to the planet Beerus, right? A match with the 6th universe. Vegeta smiled, this reminds me of the game against Universe 11. Universe 11. Sun Wukong was slightly taken aback. Vegeta, have you ever played against the 11th universe? Of course, there are a lot of things you don't know. Vegeta chuckled and said, are the humans in the 11th universe very powerful? Monkey King asked that he was very powerful, but they were all beaten by Broly and Bardock for several years. Things before. Vegeta is back like this. Sun Wukong nodded slightly. Cough cough. Weiss coughed and started a conversation between the two. Then, Weiss said his thoughts. Whis means that there are still 3 people left, and if Boo and Gohan are added, there is still 1 person left. Who should I choose? Sun Wukong was also a little unsure. It's a pity that Piccolo doesn't know where to go, there's been no news for a long time. Vegeta snorted, I don't care who you choose. Does it have anything to do with me? Vegeta has to help with the selection. If it doesn't work, it can only be Raditz. Raditz is a Super Saiyan after all. Sun Wukong pondered, but it seems that Raditz is not as powerful as Cyborg 18, right? Is there a more suitable candidate? Weiss wiped sweat. Raditz. Weiss doesn't really like Raditz. Raditz has little chance of winning. By the way, the android number 16, his strength is not bad. Said Sun Wukong. Cyborg 16. The name is a bit familiar. Weiss thoughtful number 6 is an artificial man born during the Sand Fever period. However, in the First Sand War, he was killed by Shalu. I don't know how to resurrect this time, but the 1.4 power is still improved. A lot, at least not much different from my Super Saiyan Tier 3, Sun Wukong explained. Okay, let's tentatively schedule the 16th. Weiss nodded, there was no objection. At this time, Myers fell from the sky and landed on the scene, and explained his purpose. That's it, who of you follow me to practice? Myers asked Sun Wukong to see Vegeta. Vegeta didn't answer. Cultivation with you? What are you kidding? I have been practicing with Roger. Who wants to practice with you? Sun Wukong did not intend to follow Myers to practice. Don't you have 3 days left? I'll go back to Roger. I'm going to practice with Roger. Myers, disgusted. You are a genius, remember in a second. Chapter 288 Turn into Super Saiyan Blue first, then come find me. Myers felt so tragic. I'm so special, I'm an angel, okay. You give me some face. You are so ignorant, or I will destroy you. So hateful. With that, Myers, how about having Gohan follow you to practice? Sun Wukong's eyes lit up and walked towards Myers. Myers gritted his teeth and drilled out such a word from between his teeth. Son Gohan is this guy's son, right? At that time, I will train your son to surpass you, what do you say? Soon, Xian took Ruo 16 and Son Gohan to Beerus planet Mel's without talking nonsense, and took Son Gohan away directly. Mr. Sun Wukong, Mr. Vegeta, there are still 3 days, I can take you to practice on this planet, I would rather go back to Roger to practice. Vegeta laughs at Wes. I also want to go back and find Roger to practice. Sun Wukong scratched his head. I left first. Vegeta. Sun Wukong slipped away through teleportation. Hey, Kakarot, come back to me. 30 Vegeta was in a hurry. She knew that she should have gone to Adalat back then and learned teleportation. Now it's better. When she came to this place, she didn't know how to go back to Bei Gun Gun. Why? Aren't you going to practice with me? Weiss had a weird smile on his face. Vegeta hit a duo. This guy is also an angel. If you offend him, you might get beaten up. Weiss, can you guarantee that I will practice with you and not lose to Kakarot who practiced with Roger? Asked Vegeta. Of course. Weiss smiled confidently. What do you say about Bei Si and Bei Shen? Vegeta's rhetorical question is heartbreaking. Why don't you mention Bei Si and Bei Shen? Vegeta's scepter hits Vegeta's head. Suddenly, a big bag popped up in Vegeta's head. It's okay to follow me to practice, as long as you can avoid the attack of my scepter. Weiss looked at Vegeta with a smile. Vegeta. I don't want to practice with you. I want to practice with Roger. Be reasonable, okay. Even though she thought so, Vegeta quickly transformed into a Super Saiyan 4th Order. Whis' scepter hit Vegeta's head again, and Vegeta was stunned. Can't escape. Continue. Weiss struck again with a scepter. Vegeta got hit again. When Beerus taught Little Boo a lesson and brought it back from the universe, he happened to witness the scene where Whis beats Vegeta. Weiss, what about the others? Is only Vegeta here? Beerus asked if the candidates had been arranged. Weiss smiled, and immediately said that the candidates for the competition were shameless, and you actually asked Kaiwang God to help Dad bring people over. Biz stared. You might as well let the Kaiwang God bring the little things too, it made me run so far. You're wrong, Kaiwang Shen can't beat Boo. Weiss smiled, but then again, it's still very interesting that you beat Vegeta like this, why don't you let me try it? Interested in Beerustin? Okay. Weiss nodded. Beerus shot and punched Vegeta in the head. Wow, I'll fight you. Vegeta was beaten, and it can be said that he was furious, and the aura on his body emerged madly. Bang bang bang. After Vegeta launched a violent attack on Beerus, Beerus pressed him to the ground and pressed his head, rubbing Vegeta on the ground. One day, I, Bei Yanta, will hang you up. Beerus, you wait for me. Earth, Bulma's home. Roger, is the number 21 you speak of really talented in science? Bulma asked. Not bad. It should be similar to Dr. Gross's scientific talent. Roger replied to her. Asked Bulma. Provoked me and was sent to space by me. It is estimated that it will take 3 months before I fly back to Earth. Month. So poor. Just as he was speaking, Sun Wukong recited teleportation and appeared beside Roger. Wukong, are you here? Bulma greeted. Hey, according to the agreement, I came to practice with Roger. Sun Wukong scratched his head, greeted Bulma, and then looked at Roger eagerly. Monkey King, as I said, I am looking for you, not you. Suji reprimanded him. But in 3 days we will compete with the 6th universe. Sun Wukong smiled wryly. You turn into Super Saiyan Blue first, then come to me. Roger waved his hand, indicating that Sun Wukong can get out of Super Saiyan Blue. Okay, no problem. Sun Wukong nodded solemnly. Sun Wukong disappeared again through teleportation. In a flash, Sun Wukong appeared beside Beerus' planet Vegeta. Sun Wukong appeared at a wrong time. Just by Beerus punched 437 in the nose, it hurts. Sun Wukong covered his nose and took a deep breath. Are you angry? It's you. Why are you here? Beerus sneered, and Sun Wukong scratched his head. Roger said let me turn into Super Saiyan Blue first, and then let me practice with him. Roger, that's enough. You don't help train Sun Wukong. In case we lose, do you have any face? After all, you are an angel trained in our 7th universe. So, Mr. Son Goku and Mr. Vegeta, you two will join forces to challenge Beerus-sama. Vesti, I'm fine. Sun Wukong nodded, turning directly into the Super Saiyan God. Sun Wukong immediately burst into laughter. Hey, are you Bei Gun Gun? Sun Wukong just didn't notice Vegeta's image just now, and he was almost overjoyed when he looked at it. I saw Vegeta's nose was swollen, and there were several big bags on her head, which was pitiful. However, Sun Wukong couldn't laugh anymore at the next moment. In the next few minutes, Beerus slapped Sun Wukong and 3 days passed quickly. Son Goku, Vegeta, Son Gohan, Little Boo and Cyborg 16 gathered on Beerus. You are a genius, remember in a second. Chapter 289 Broly, Realm God, let's talk. In addition to these 5 contestants, Bardock, Broly and Raditz were also brought here along with Roger. Even the 2 realm gods came to watch the fun. Bulma didn't come. Bulma has no interest in this kind of fight. 18th didn't come either. Because, Roger didn't mean to take her. Gohan, you look stronger than before. Following this Mel's, your strength should have improved a lot. Sun Wukong looked at Sun Wufan and said. Yes Dad, I'm stronger than ever. Sun Wufan clenched his head. Come on, Gohan. Monkey King nodded and patted Son Gohan's shoulder. I think it's more suitable for you to be a warrior, don't be a scholar in the future. Son Gohan. 6th, let's do our best. Sun Wukong waved at number 16. Number 16 gave Sun Wukong a blank look. Then, number 16 walked to Roger's side. Hi, where did you get the 21st? Number 16 asked her to travel in the universe, and it will take 3 months to reach the Earth. Roger said, but if you win the game, I can have someone bring number 21 back in advance. 21st, who are you to offend? In fact, if the 21st participates in the competition, I think the odds of winning should be greater. Number 16 said oh, really? Beerus' eyes moved. There's no need for that. If these people can't beat the players of Universe 6 now, Roger said coldly to Beerus, whoever loses, destroys them directly, and doesn't show mercy. Really, Beerus' hands are a little itchy. Roger gave Beerus a stern look. Are you an idiot? I'm just trying to scare them. Okay, I see, let's do it. Beerus is not stupid. He immediately recovered his senses, and immediately confronted the participants who were present. Did you all hear it? I will destroy the losers myself. Angels will not kill people, but I am the god of destruction. This glorious and arduous task is entrusted to me to carry out. One Dagorus said, with a flick of his hand. A wrecking ball shot towards a star and bombarded the star rapidly. Suddenly, the star was like a soap bubble, and it shattered the faces of Sun Wukong and others. They had all seen wrecking balls before, but what they didn't expect was that a star could be shattered so easily. That's a star bigger than the sun. Very scary. Although many people present can also destroy the stars, it is still difficult to make the stars turn into scum with a wave of hands like this. Roger God, Xian couldn't bear it, so he came up. From now on you will call me Archangel, or Angel Roger. Roger said. Yes, Lord Archangel. Xian quickly changed his mind. Well, you say. Roger nodded in satisfaction. Myers. The two look a little. Not even an archangel. You are so kind. Forget it, whatever he wants. Anyway, it's a matter of time. There is no need for the Archangel to kill them all, right? After all, they are the elites of our universe. Wouldn't it be a bit cruel to kill them if they just lost the game? The king of the realm Xian scratched his head and begged for mercy with a wry smile. Roger looked at Bardock and Brawley quickly appeared beside Kaioshin. Lord Zhuangshan, let's go over there to chat about the county. Brawley laughs at Bardock, behind again. Brawley, the bastard, reacting too fast. Didn't you always grow up on the planet Wampa? Why is your emotional intelligence so high? Not scientific. Bardock almost sighed. If it goes on like this, my position by Roger's side will be lost, and Vegeta's lips twitched. A nasty Brawley. You react so fast, what do you want me to do? Talk about what? Xian was stunned for a while, and looked at Brawley in a puzzled way. It's the first time Brawley has seen such a stupid god. Don't you know? What is the ideal? Xian, the king of the realm, shook his head. Let's go with a confused look on his face. Where is Brawley talking nonsense to Shindo? Immediately grabbed the neck of the Kaiwangshan, flew to the distance, and uploaded it from a location not far away, accompanied by the muffled sound of the Kaiwangshan's moaning. Old Lord Kaiwangshan, yours children and grandchildren were beaten, do you sit back and watch? Whis saw the old Kaiwang god humming and looking at the sky, and asked with a smile. What do you mean by my descendants? Is he related to me by blood? Old King God snorted. Haha, yes, yes. Weiss smiled. Also, we can all see what Angel Roger means. Just this idiot went up and asked, where do you let Angel Roger's face go? Time to fight, old King God said. Weiss secretly sighed. Since when did angels become so cruel? Haven't angels always been polite beings? As a result, when it came to Roger's generation, it was completely transformed. So sad. Brawley will soon be back with Papa King God. Zhuangshan's nose is bruised and his face is swollen. How miserable UT looks like. Lord Zhuangshan, I'll chat with you there too. Bardock stepped forward and looked at Bardock, his face changed color. I have nothing to chat with you. After the Kaiwang god finished speaking, he had to run away by teleportation. However, Bardock was faster, and as soon as King Zhao's grabbed the Kaiwang god's arm, the two disappeared together. In less than a minute, Kaiwang Shen came back with Bardock with a bewildered look on his face. Everyone could see that Xian, the god of the realm, was hanged and beaten by Bardock. So poor. You are the king of gods anyway. Just got kicked out. Veggie also immediately appeared beside Kaioshin. Without saying a word, he grabbed Kaioshin's hair and flew away. That's how Leping was killed last time. Brawley said leisurely that the Kaiwang god will not die this time, right? Bardock won't be so tragic if he thinks about it. Brawley scratched his head. What? Beerus was shocked, and without the slightest hesitation, he hurriedly ran out into the distance. Vegeta was beating the king of the world, Shin. Stop. Beerus arrived just in time and shouted sharply. You are a genius, remember in a second. Chapter 290 Ruosi, I like your sister. Beige gave Bees a look and had to stop. Now that he can't beat Beerus, it's better not to provoke this cat. When my strength grows and grows, when I become Jin Universe's god of destruction, I will challenge you again. Wait for me, Beerus. Hello, are you alright? Beerus stepped forward and looked at Sean's forehead. It's okay, thank you, Beerus-sama. Sean couldn't die with a bitter smile, right? Beerus asked again. Haha, how could it be possible to die? Xian shook his head. I'm the king of God. How can I die? Can I die so easily? Never die. Bis nodded. What was the situation when he left quickly? Xian was stunned, watching the back of Robirose leaving. Even, Sean was a little moved. Beerus-sama, you are quite understanding. Unlike Archangel Roger, he knows how to bully God. Xian, the gray-headed man, went back with a face, and told the old king of the world what he thought of Beerus. You idiot, Beerus and your life are shared. If you die, he has to disappear. Old Zhuangshan stared. Ah. Why? Am I the same person as him? Zhuangshan's eyes widened and he was a fool. The lives of Kyohime and God of Destruction are to be shared. The old realm king lowered his voice and shouted. What? Kaiwang God suddenly realized. If you are asked to read more regularly, you just don't listen. Your knowledge is too lacking and you deserve to be beaten. Old realm king God shake. I finally know why Cerberus sealed you, old ancestor. Zion thought for a while, and glanced at the old king god thoughtfully. Roll. The old realm king glared angrily. Seeing the lively King Shin, Vegeta even wanted to rush up to teach him a few more lessons. It seems that the attack just now was not in place. Weiss. Sister Myerstos, come quickly. If you don't come, it's going to be a mess. We don't have to compete with you anymore, we'll be messing up ourselves a lot. Except for Vados and Ruosi, it is to destroy the idols. The king of the sixth universe did not come. Then there are the 5 players they brought over, namely, Hit, Caulifla, Kair, Gabe and Fuakaka. I, Caulifla, are here to defeat you. Caulifla stepped forward, akimbo laughing at Roger. How did Caulifla become so arrogant? Not her style. Is it? Roger sensed it a little bit, otherwise, he sensed that Ruosi was a Caulifla who was trained by Ruosi, no wonder. Sister. Kair shook his head slightly. Sister, what's the matter with you? Why is it not normal? You used to be very assertive, but you are not so assertive. Vados knocked Kaliangla's head with a scepter. Caulifla's head was dizzy, and she squatted on the ground, holding her head in her hands, and tears were about to fall from the sixth universe. Rose raised the head of the school. So embarrassing. Ruosi raised her fist like this, and was speechless for a while. Vados is enough. Sister, don't make trouble, okay? Usually it's just a joke between angels, but you're good, in front of humans, the god of destruction, and the kaiju god. If you're so stupid, how can you get married in the future? Hey, isn't she going to marry Roger? Forget it, whatever she wants. Roger, when will you marry me? Ruosi quickly changed the subject and Roger almost spat out. When did I say I was going to marry you? You are shameless. But Roger had to admire Ruosi's reaction speed. This excellent angel, this time, successfully changed the topic and attracted his attention to himself. Again. DAAC, sure enough. Weiss covered the danger and pretended not to hear or see these few questions, it was enough. Myers is also scratching his head bitterly. Sister, how much do you want to marry yourself? Beerus dangerous confusion. Who is this woman? I fell asleep, why can't I remember a lot of things clearly? What's wrong with me? Come here. Roger waved to Pa Ruosi. Rossini walked over. Do you really want to marry me? Roger leaned close to Ruosi's ear and asked Ruosi in a low voice, nodding hard. I thought about it carefully, Ruosi, I'm really sorry, I can't marry you. Roger said apologetically why. Ruosi looked up at Roger. I've been thinking about it, but I still like your sister more. Roger sighed slightly, with a look of guilt on his face, I'm really sorry. If it doesn't work, you can let your sister marry me, and you can follow suit. Girl. I fight with you. Rose knew that Roger was teasing herself again, so she threw her teeth at Vados. Mel. If I had known earlier, I shouldn't have brought Ruosi here. Really messed up. Cough cough. Weiss coughed and said to Vados, so, sister, let them get to know each other, and we can start. Can. Vados nodded and greeted, you all go over there and say hello to each other. Hit and others walked towards Sun Wukong and others. I think I've seen you, Sun Wukong, looking at Hit, and I always feel that this face is a little familiar. Hit is cold, and he doesn't speak. Hit is looking at Vegeta. Hit muttered in his heart. I haven't seen each other for a long time, but this Bei Gun Gun is growing up so fast that he deserves to be half of Roger's Angel's students. It's really different. So, the protagonist of this big expense is Bei Gun Gun, right? Excuse me, are you also a Saiyan? Gabe asks Sun Wukong and Vegeta. Oh, listen to your tone, Are you a Saiyan too? Vegeta froze slightly. Yes, I am a Saiyan. Gabby nodded. You also inhabit planet Vegeta? Vegeta asked planet Vegeta. Never heard of this planet. Gabe shook his head in confusion. What do we inhabit? Salad. Sarada planet. That is the planet before the Saiyans moved out. Vegeta glanced behind Gabe for a moment. Where's your tail? Did you remove it? Tail. Do Saiyans have tails? Gabe is a little enlightened. You are a genius, remember in a second. Chapter 291 Contestants of the 6th and 7th Universes. Those two women are also Saiyans? Asked Vegeta again. Yes, she's Caulifla, she's Kale, they're all demihumans. Gabe nodded. Isn't that Frieza? Sun Wukong has long been paying attention to Frost, and Vegeta has seen it too, but there is nothing curious tilde strange. Hello, my name is Frost. Frost said hello politely. Sun Wukong waved his hand and said with a smile, it's not the same as Frieza in our universe, his attitude looks friendly. Frost is an elite soldier in our universe. He and I are comrades in arms. We maintain the peace of the universe together. Gabe explained with a slight smile. Really, he is a good man. Sun Wukong smiled straightly. I don't think so. Guys with such faces are more sinister at first glance. Vegeta snorted and I understood what you meant. In your universe, there is someone who looks similar to me. This guy is evil, isn't he? Frost was not angry at all. He smiled and said, but I'm not the same as him, and our universe is completely different, so please don't associate me with the bad guy you said. Waved his hand. Sister, they are also Saiyans. Kel said to Caulifla and saw it. Caulifla nodded. That uncle named Sun Wukong and Vegeta, I have seen in another time and space, very powerful. Kale lowered his voice, but I don't know what the strength of this time and space is, and I don't know. Rest assured, I will defeat them. Caulifla looked confident. Besides, we are still young, and they are all 3 years old. More than 10. Kel nods. We are only 11 years old. Cauliflower grins. Kel did not speak. Saiyans mature earlier. 11-year-old girls have no difference in appearance from 18-year-old girls on Earth. Sister, can you tell me your age? It feels like we are like children. Kel sighed that the two sides were almost familiar with each other. The game officially kicked off. Before that, Whis had built a ring on the planet Beerus. At this moment, the two sides stood on both sides of the platform. The rules of the game are very simple. Surrender or fall off the broadcaster is counted as a loss, as well as being killed. Vados said, of course, we do not recommend killing people, but since it is a competition, casualties will inevitably occur. It is inevitable that Faye will adopt a reincarnation system. This person has been eliminated, and the next person will play again. Weiss took the words and said to the 10 people present that hidden Sun Wukong and others nodded slightly. They all understood it. Get ready, the game will be soon start. Vados greeted. Ask the captains of both sides to state the order of your team's appearance before the game. The order of appearance will be arranged soon. The 6th universe. Frost, Kare, Caulifla, Gabe, hit the 7th universe. Son Gohan, Monkey King, Little Boo, number 16. Vegeta. See the list of appearances of the two universes. Roger could see at a glance that these two universes were arranged in a random order, and there was nothing too technical about it. However, both sides put the strongest person at the back in the first match. Frost of Universe 6 vs. Son Gohan of Universe 7. Vados said Gohan, come on. Sun Wukong nodded to Sun Wufan to encourage Sun Wufan, and set foot on the drawing platform. Game start. Vados rode. The two gods of destruction cast a flame of light together, hitting the gong above the broadcasting station. The first game, officially started. Time stop. A real god field emerged from the scepter in Roger's hand. Immediately, after the void shook his forehead a little, it immediately stopped the operation of the scene. Except for the 4 angels, everyone was motionless. Myers widened his eyes. Ruosi is also left and right. Time stop. Angels still have this skill. Ruosi is a little excited and this is the first time I've seen this kind of skill. Myers smiled wryly. It's very simple. The core of the universe controls time. Just stop the rotation of the core of the universe, and time will stop. Roger smiled. It's not bad. I was just doing research, and I didn't expect it to be successful. Vados and Weiss stopped talking. You stopped time in the 7th universe. When time is restored, it is bound to speed up the progress of time in the 7th universe, or it will be out of sync with the time of the other universes. Zero ask for flowers, so few angels use time to stop. Of course, it can also be used in the case of a last resort. To put it bluntly, as long as the number of times of use is not large, the phenomenon of time synchronization is not obvious. Even if the time difference of the major universes is more than 1 or 2 hours, in the case of 1,000 years as the unit of measurement, it can be ignored. Except for the angels, everyone stopped moving. Roger looked at Beerus and the Kaiwang god. Smiled Roger, let the time recover. By the way, give you a chance, bet and bet, in the game between the two of them, who do you think will leave? Roger greeted with a smile. Vados. I'm afraid you stop time. Betting on the game is your main purpose. You are not so shameless to stop time in order to study it. Do not gamble. Agreed not to gamble. Myers didn't say a word either. If he gambled on the game, his father would definitely kill him, right? Myers resisted the temptation, too. Ross, how about you? Want to play? Asked Roger. Josie's face is inviting. Forget it, you have nothing, you are not having fun. Roger shook his head and gritted his teeth, and pounced on him. Vados. Roger, that's enough. You quickly let time recover. What's so special? We have too few real gods, and the scepter is not easy to use. If the time you set stops, we can't control it. What a tragedy. I said no gambling. Which one did you play with? Well, knowing you don't want to gamble, I'm just talking casually. Roger sighed slightly and pondered, don't we win nothing this time? No betting, just verbally saying who will. What do you think? Vados also nodded lightly, without any objection, as long as it wasn't a betting game with bets. There was nothing wrong with verbally speaking, just watching the game so simply. It was indeed boring enough as angels, the battle between them is like fighting with children. I think that in the first game, Son Gohan will win. Roger said. You are a genius, remember in a second. Chapter 292 Myers, your instruction is primary. Well, I'll give my opinion. Vados nodded and said with a smile, Son Gohan was trained by Myers, right? I think his strength has improved, but there is still a small gap between him and Frost. Don't forget, I taught Frost on purpose. I also think Frost has a slight advantage. Weiss smiled and said his thoughts. Like Roger, I think Son Gohan will win. Myers naturally wants to bet on the students he teaches. I stand with Roger. I think Son Gohan will win. We 3 apprentice angels think Son Gohan will win, and you 2 official angels think Frost will, or what? You can't just say it verbally, can you? How boring. Roger sighed that Weiss and Vados didn't care about the 910 meeting. We are not fooled. Well, the losing side sings a song, so that's all right, right? Suggested Roger. Nothing, is it boring? Okay, then the losing side will sing alone. Vados thinks this is a good way to sing a song, nothing can be lost. If the singing is not good, the big deal can stop time, and only let the angels hear it and resume it. Roger waved his scepter lightly, and time returned to normal. On the scene, Son Gohan and Frost stood opposite each other. As for the time stop just now, to them, it was as if nothing had happened. Son Gohan exploded with powerful energy directly. Immediately afterwards, Son Gohan rushed in the direction of Frost. Comment bang bang. Son Gohan and Frost fought fiercely on this stage. Son Gohan did not transform or open a mysterious form. He just fought with Frost in a normal way. Son Gohan was also overwhelming. The advantage of Frost dwarfed the stubborn Frost that Frost had suppressed, and it was somewhat difficult to support. Son Gohan kicked and kicked Frost's eyelid. Frost's body slammed on the ground of the table, gritted his teeth, stood up and transformed, Frieza. Sun Wukong snorted coldly, "No, that's wrong, I should call you Frost." "Oh, do you know how to transform?" Frost was slightly startled, and looked at Son Gohan with a smile. "You must have known it from that Frieza, right?" "Yes." Sun Wukong nodded. "As you wished, I'll transform and let you take a good look." As Frost said, his body changed rapidly. Frost directly turned into the fourth form, and turned to Son Gohan with a smile on his right. "My transformation is complete. Now, I will show you the difference between before and after transformation." Frost chuckled. Frost's figure flickered and quickly appeared behind Son Gohan. Frost kicked out and hit Son Gohan in the back. Gohan pounced forward, twisted one hand on the ground, rose and fell a few times, and stood firm. Snapped. Son Gohan's hair was raised high and he became a Super Saiyan. "Old World King God, what's the situation? How did you become a Super Saiyan? What about the new realm that I have raised for you?" After Son Gohan became a Super Saiyan, the golden flames spread all over his body again, and in a flash he became the second-tier Super Saiyan. Son Gohan let out a long breath. Immediately afterwards, the golden flames on Sun Wuhan's body dissipated. At the same time, Son Gohan's hair also returned to black. When he looked again, Sun Wukong's hair stood up high, and his whole body was full of breath. "What do you mean? What is this little devil going to do? It's mysterious." Vegeta is a little puzzled. Gohan is a combination of the second-order energy of Super Phi and the mysterious form. No wonder the spirit has improved a lot. Sun Wukong looked at it, but realized something. He smiled and said that Mr. Wukong is not easy. He came out so easily. Myers smiled slightly, and couldn't help but look a little smug. For the direction of Sun Wuhan's cultivation, I had a lot of plans at the time. But the time was too short, only 3 days, and it was obviously impossible to make Son Gohan the 4th-tier Super Saiyan or the Super Saiyan God. So I a little transformation, so that Son Gohan has both the mysterious form and the second-order strength of Super Saiyan. "Thank you, Myers," Sun Wukong quickly thanked. Sun Wukong is still very happy that Gohan can have this level of improvement. Although Son Gohan's current improvement is still not as good as Super Saiyan God, let alone Super Saiyan Tier 4 and Super Saiyan Blue. But Sun Wukong looked at it, and Sun Wuhan's current strength has already begun to chase after the Super Saiyan. Roger naturally glanced at Sun Wukong. "Roger, is my instruction to Son Gohan okay?" Myers asked with a smile. "If you divide the instruction for Son Gohan into 3 categories, beginner, intermediate and advanced, you can only be considered as a beginner." Roger shook his head. "Myers. What are you kidding? I'm a junior guide. How about you? You can senior guide." "I am not convinced. If Vados is the guide, he should be able to reach the intermediate level." Roger mused to Vados. "If Weiss guides, you can reach the advanced level." Roger continued, "Vados, does that mean I'm not as good as Wes?" You 1.8 provoked the feelings of our sister and brother again. "Do you think I'll be fooled?" Vados gave Roger a roll of eyes and said nothing. Thank you Roger for your comment. To tell the truth, if I were to guide Son Gohan players, although 5 had 3 days, it would definitely be stronger than now." Weiss said with a smile. "Roger, what about me?" "What about me?" Ruth asked. "You." Roger glanced at Ruosi and said nothing. "Hey, what do you mean?" "The meaning in your eyes is to tell me that my guidance can only be regarded as below the primary level." Ross hummed. "No, you are instructing Son Gohan. Maybe Son Gohan's strength will decline." Roger said, "I fought with you." Ruosi pounced with her teeth and claws. "You are a genius, remember in a second." Chapter 293 Roger. I am a god-level guide. A brief silence. "How about you? What level are you, Roger?" Vados asked. "I'm afraid you'll be hit hard if you say it." Roger shook his head. "Roger, tell me, we won't be hit, and I also want to hear. Roger, how do you instruct Son Gohan, and what level of guidance can you reach?" Myers smiled and said I was a god. Roger replied. Vados Mel's Ruosi, you are so shameless, you even got a god level above the senior level. You have misunderstood. Above the senior level is not the god level, above the senior level is the expert, above the expert is the master, above the master is the grandmaster, and above the grandmaster is the god level. Roger talked eloquently. My grades for teaching guidance are from low to high, beginner, intermediate, advanced, expert, master, grandmaster, god level, there are 7 levels in total. Hearing Roger's words, Myers and other angels, it's enough to hurt you again with 30 to 10,000 critical hits. You've said nothing of us, haven't you? Weiss, face turned black. Vados is also ugly. How shameless. Forget it, let him blow. Anyway, let him talk. Vados winked at Weiss. Weiss nodded slightly, feeling better. However, Myers disagreed. Ahem, Roger, I want to study, what is so special about God-level guidance, so I know my own shortcomings? Myers asked with a smile. If you study, you have to pay tuition. Roger rode. After silence. What's the point of paying tuition if I'm really taught? Myers bite the bullet, do you have tuition fees? Roger asked. Myers was heartbroken. My special true God field is very low, and I have no tuition fees. Believing in his own true God domain, Roger doesn't like it. How much tuition does he need? Vados is distressed for his younger brother after all. Not much, 50 points straight to the realm of God. Roger rode. Vados sighed. When did it start? True God locking domain became tuition fees. Shenjia has no currency. Okay, now, the real God field might become the currency between angels in the future. Myers is upset again. You are shameless. Roger, if you can really say God-level guidance, I will give you 50 points of the real God domain, and he hummed, Myers doesn't have it, I have it. Okay, listen carefully. Roger nodded, glancing at the drawing table. At this time, the battle on the platform continues. However, the battle in the arena was no longer attractive, and everyone present was attracted by the 7 levels of instruction that Roger said. First, let's talk about the guidance under the primary level of Ruosi. Roger smiled, glanced at Sun Wufan and asked Ruosi, tell me, if you teach Sun Wufan to teach him, you only have 3 days, how will you help him? Ruosi scratched her head. How do I know what to do? I am not familiar with the human beings in your universe. So tangled. How to do it? Look, Ruosi doesn't know, this is the guidance under the primary level. Roger smiled, Ruosi grinding his teeth. Well, let's talk about Myers' guidance. Everyone has seen it, and the strength has indeed improved a lot, but if the strength of Son Gohan before is compared to 10, it is only increased to 11.5 now. Roger said, look carefully, is this the truth I said? Weiss and Vados did not speak. Because the two of them found out that there was really nothing wrong with Roger saying this. Son Gohan's strength has improved, but it has only increased a little bit. If it is replaced by Vados, it is estimated that it can increase Son Gohan to 15. Roger pondered that. Vados said nothing. If it is replaced by Weiss, it will be raised to about 18, maybe it will be 20 if you work hard. Roger continued. The high garbage is almost doubled, so how many times will the God level you say, Roger, increase Sun Wuhan? Weiss looked at Roger and asked. I can raise Gohan to over 50. Roger stretched out 5 fingers to smell it. Weiss smiled. Weiss doesn't believe it. If there is enough time, Weiss can also raise Son Gohan to 50, but only 3 days, too short. You don't use extra-dimensional space, do you? Vados smiles. Do you think I'd be so boring? Roger looked at Vados with a smile. Then tell me, how do you increase the strength of Sun Wuhan from 10 to 50, which is to increase the strength by 5 times, and it only took 3 days. I also want to know when Badostan came to Xingqiao. Weiss nodded, listening intently. Ruosi even raised her ears. The god of destruction, Bethan Elephant Pa, Kaiwangshan and others also all looked at Roger's son Gohan one by one. Frost. We are in a game. Did you not watch it? The two suddenly felt that there was no sense of existence. But Son Gohan pricked up 927 feet's ears and listened to Roger's words on how to improve his strength. Have you paid the tuition? Asked Roger. Vados. I didn't pay tuition, I can't tell, I only tell Myers. Roger waved to Myers, then whispered something in his ear. Vados is speechless again. That's my true god realm. It's me who gives you the realm of true gods, okay. You won't let me listen. The most shameless angel in history is you. After Myers spoke, his eyes widened and he looked at Roger without blinking. At the same time, Myers' eyes were full of doubts. Real or fake? This is impossible. Myers doesn't believe it. What if what I'm saying is true? Roger's face is full of confidence. Myers still can't believe Roger's words. Brief silence. If what you say is true, I can give you another 50 points of straight god realm. Myers gritted his teeth. Myers, don't be fooled. Weiss exclaimed. Myers. Vados also shouted coquettishly. You only have 99 points in the realm of the true gods. How can you give me 50.7 inches? Roger ignored Vados and Wes, and looked at Myers with a smile. Sister Vados can lend me 20 points. Myers' road is not worth it. Vados replied that it was a simple. You are a genius, remember in a second. Chapter 294. Beerus can only use 20% of his strength. Then, I owe the glycoside first, okay. Myers hesitated for a moment, and clenched his head. You gave me all the realm of the true gods, and I took them all, which is a bit unkind. Roger sighed a lot. As you said, I owe it first, and I will thank you when you have enough. Myers' eyes lit up, and he was pleasantly surprised. It's a good thing to owe it first. At least let yourself go past the 99th hurdle first. After waiting for the 99th threshold, give Roger 100 points in the realm of straight gods, so there is no need to feel so distressed. Myers thinks Roger is a really nice guy. Myers, be careful. Vados wanted to go over and beat Mel's and agreed not to gamble. Why did it start again? Sister Vados, I have a sense of proportion. If Roger can really do it, I think it will also be a learning opportunity for me. At least I know how to teach Son Gohan so that his strength can be quickly obtained. Elevating Myers has clearly made up his mind. Whatever. Vados sighed. Zongxing had to take care of it. Now that it has been decided, we can talk about it now. What did you say just now? Weiss asked Myers and looked at Roger. Roger nodded, indicating that Myers could say. Roger said that he now has a way to instantly increase the strength of Son Gohan by more than 5 times. When Myers said this, everyone was shocked. Can Son Gohan's strength be increased by 5 times now? What are you kidding? How about it? You can only increase by 2 times in 3 days, and I can increase the strength of Sun Wuhan 5 times in less than a minute. Is this a god-level guidance? Roger smiled and turned to Vados and Vis Vados without saying a word. Weiss also silently looked at Son Gohan, and then saw if Roger could increase Son Gohan's strength by more than 5 times in 1 minute. Gelding. I can't do it. How can you do it? Isn't the potential of Sun Wufan discovered by the old king god? What else can Roger do? Whis also knows that Saiyans can be transformed. However, in just 1 minute, Weiss didn't know how to make Son Gohan break through the current barrier and surpass himself. An angel who is 5 times stronger than the current one has many peculiar abilities, and he can't even help give birth to children. The problem, however, the angels can't channel the latent energy that Son Gohan has channeled in such a short period of time. Do you think it counts or not? Asked Roger. If it is true that Son Gohan can increase his strength to 5 times in 1 minute, it is indeed a god-level guide. Weiss nodded and admitted. Well, let's forget it. Vados agrees. Ross didn't speak. As for teaching guidance, Ruosi doesn't even count as an entry level, so it's a bit out of the question. Today, you are fortunate enough to witness the god-level teaching guidance, which is a life worth living. Suijia laughed at what you said. So sad. We have all lived for thousands of years. Today, I will show you what a true God-level guidance is. Roger said with a serious face that everyone's eyes widened, waiting to see. Frost. What do you take me for? Does this game count? Before that, I'll have a cup of tea. Roger said. The crowd fell to the ground. Brawly responded quickly and immediately brought a cup of tea and handed it to Roger Boddick Vegeta with both hands. Brawly, are you human? Your reaction is so quick, right? Let the two of them decide the winner first, right? Vados proposes. Vados is also thinking about himself. If Roger's instruction is really God level, then losing the first game on his own side is still very unfavorable to himself. At present, Son Gohan and Frost on the rocking platform are not fighting very fiercely. All attention was on Roger, which made the game between the two feel very boring. Therefore, both of them are in a good state of soy sauce. Roger also saw that Frost's strength has greatly increased after being guided by Vados, and he is much stronger than him in the original book. At this time, the strength of the two is actually indistinguishable. If Frost can increase his strength to the level of Sun Wuhan in a short period of time, Vados is also relatively good. The two of you immediately burst out with all your energy and boosted your strength to the limit. Vados ordered. Bang! Frost didn't dare to obey, and immediately burst into breath, maxing out his energy. Frost launched a violent attack on Son Gohan. Time, Son Gohan is in danger, step back. At the critical moment, when Son Gohan was approaching the edge of the drawing table, he suddenly turned around, passed Frost's side, flew up, and kicked Frost off the drawing table. At the moment when Tay fell off the ring, his tail suddenly wrapped around Sun Wufan's ankle, and he fell off the ring together with him. The first game, a draw. Weiss announced. Vados's dangerous color is a little bit unsightly. Is the first game a draw? Frost, who he had finally cultivated, actually just fought a tie with Son Gohan. Hee, sister, the people I trained are a little bit more powerful. Myers smiled and Vados stared. Don't make trouble, Sun Wufan's starting point is already high, and you are still complacent. Roger shook his head. Roger, now you can show us how to increase the strength of Sun Wuhan 5 times. Weiss is still waiting for the God-level teaching guide. I'm also looking forward to it. Zhao Qinhao. Myers' eyes are shining and we can start. Vados smiled. Who among you is Son Gohan's opponent? Roger looked at Bardock and the others. I'll come, Master. Bardock reacted the fastest this time, and I am a little proud to see Brawlygang or me. Beerus replied. Well, come on Beerus. Roger nodded, then ordered, remember, only 20% is allowed, but Beerus thinks about it carefully. 20% of his strength is 20%. Son Gohan's current level, he only needs less than 10%. If he had the strength, he could torture him to the death and even just move his finger and kill him, which means that his current strength has been increased 5 times, and it is easy enough to deal with. 20%, that's the point. Roger told Beerus again, and Beerus couldn't help shaking. You are a genius, remember in a second. Chapter 295 Myers, is this tuition worth it? Roger's meaning, Bees has completely understood. If he dared to show more than 20% of his strength, he would definitely be severely beaten by Roger. So, after a while, you must control your strength, and don't exceed 20%. Beerus really wants to give yourself a mouth. I am free. Why should I volunteer to be Son Gohan's opponent? Gohan, Sun Wukong said to his son, in the first match, Dad is very proud of you, Sun Wufan. The first game, you just watch the ending, okay. However, after hearing that Roger can increase his strength by 5 times, Son Gohan is also looking forward to it. Can I really improve? Do I still have potential energy? Son Gohan didn't even trust himself anymore. Timing. Roger greeted ghouls. Then, Myers flashed out of thin air, and there was an hourglass of 1 minute. You also make an hourglass in a minute. You are so boring. Roger sighed. Okay, let's start. Roger ordered. Myers was speechless, and put SHA-213 on the ground and released Gohan. I found your Uncle Piccolo. Roger suddenly said to Son Gohan that Son Gohan was waiting for Roger to improve his strength, but he was a little confused when he heard Roger say Uncle Pick's Son Gohan. However, Son Gohan is still looking forward to seeing Roger. Roger performed teleportation and directly transferred Piccolo's seal from the earth and presented Piccolo's seal in Roger's palm. The seal is only about the size of a marble. Roger just shattered the marble. The next moment, Piccolo's body came out of the seal, whirring. After Piccolo appeared, he was breathing heavily, and Roger's lips moved slightly with cold sweat on his face. Piccolo was shocked and turned to look at Son Gohan. Gohan, is it really you? Piccolo looked at Uncle Son Gohan Piccolo with a look of surprise. What happened? Sun Wukong can't react to the Uncle Piccolo I've been looking for, even Shenlong doesn't know where he went. Why is he sealed in marbles? What happened to Daphne? The question mark of Sun Wukong's danger. It's him. He sealed me. Vic had a dark face and pointed at Beerus 7 Russ. Who are you so ignorant? I don't know you. Why should I seal you? Believe it or not, I'll kill you in a while. Gohan, when you are strong, remember to take my revenge. As Piccolo said, a powerful Nanpico suddenly erupted from his body. Without any hesitation, Piccolo rushed in the direction of Beerus and rushed towards Uncle Piccolo. Son Gohan was shocked. What are you doing? Beerus is a little confused. I don't know you at all. What are you doing? Facing Piccolo who was flying over, Beerus waved his hand lightly and was about to knock him off, asking what he was doing, but the moment Beerus and Piccolo came into contact, they landed. Seeing that Piccolo's body exploded with a bang, turning into a cloud of blood mist, 7 Russ was even more stunned. What are you gonna do? Why are you still playing self-destruction? Beerus really can't keep up with each other's rhythm. I don't know you. What are you doing with me? Although this god of destruction is not afraid of anything, but if you frame me, it is your fault. If you don't find time to find his clan, and destroy his planet, Beerus is thinking about how to get revenge on Piccolo. Uncle Bick. Son Gohan's eyes widened, and he just stared at Piccolo who blew himself up. A white light passed through Sun Wukong's mind. Whoa, whoa, whoa. An astonishing energy suddenly emerged from Son Gohan's body. An endless breath spread out from Sun Wuhan's body. Boom. Earthquakes tremble, energy rolls up layers of storms. When I looked again, I saw that Sun Wuhan's hair was standing tall, pitch black, and white lightning flashed all over his body. Everyone was stunned. Just when Son Gohan completed his new transformation, the last grain of sand in the sand finally fell to Gohan. It's amazing. Sun Wukong is shocked. What kind of transformation is this kid? How do I feel that his breath intensity is close to the 4th rank of my Super Saiyan? Vegeta's body shuddered. What did you say? Bai's glanced at Vegeta, his face changed color. Vegeta didn't say a word. Beerus' heart sank. If Son Gohan is really as strong as Vegeta, and he only shows 20% of his strength, he will be hanged and beaten, right? The old world king pointed to his nose. I raised him to a mysterious form. You killed Uncle Piccolo, I can't spare you. Sun Wukong walked step by step in the direction of Robbie's. From Sun Wukong's point of view, Piccolo rushed towards Beerus, and then was slapped by Beerus into a blood mist. Sun Gohan didn't know, it was Piccolo who blew himself up. First of all, I didn't kill him. Secondly, your attitude of speaking makes me very unsold. Beerus' nose crooked with rage. Son Gohan didn't say much nonsense. He bombarded Beerus with a punch and felt the powerful energy of Son Gohan. Beerus's danger changed, and he had to raise himself to a higher strength by 20%. Broly reminded very rudely. Beerus slapped a dummy Gohan's fist that had already bombarded Beerus's fist. Beerus felt a rush of pure and vast energy. Boom. Beerus didn't have time to resist at all. He flew out at the time. Beerus was actually able to resist, but he knew better what the consequences would be if he exerted more than 20% of his energy. Sun Wukong was furious, and he was bombarding Beerus with rage. Destroy bees. Son Gohan released a powerful energy that swallowed Beerus all at once. Son Gohan was so tired, he was gasping for breath. What do you think? Roger smiled and turned to Wes and Vados. Do Vados? It's that simple. Son Gohan broke through himself and reached a new height. Now it seems that Sun Wukong has not improved 5 times, at least 10 times. So sad. Why can you make Gohan break through so easily? Myers, is this tuition worth it? Suji smiled and turned to Myers. You are a genius, remember in a second. Chapter 296 Make an IOU. Myers. I really didn't understand it, okay. What is the tuition fee? I just saw Son Gohan getting stronger, I don't know how he got stronger. Roger waved to Myers. Can't you transmit sound? You are shameless. Myers put his ears close. In fact, it is very simple. Sun Wuhan is special. As long as the greatest anger in his heart is aroused and his bottom line is violated, his strength will have a huge breakthrough. Roger said to Myers. That's it. Myers suddenly realized. And at the same time when he suddenly realized, Melston felt that the real God field was not worth it. Mels, you have to understand that when you teach human beings, you should first understand the characteristics of this person. Only the right medicine can be prescribed. To better guide him. Roger patted Myers on the shoulder. It's okay, you're still young, you still have a lot to learn. Myers. We are a few years apart in age, okay. Does it make sense, you say? Vados, is the realm of the true God a present not still owed? Roger looked at Vados and asked if he owed it. Vados took a deep breath. Come on, make an IOU. As Roger said, it turned into 2 IOUs out of thin air, and Vados and Myers pressed their fingerprints respectively. Both of them owe Roger 100 points to the realm. Myers. Vadoska. The two looked at each other. If I go, I won't be fooled, right? How can I get 100 more points into the realm of true gods? No problem, tuition fee. Bet 100. Weiss sighed slightly. Fortunately, this time I didn't join in the fun. Otherwise, I might owe Roger 100 points in the realm of the real God, Myers, and tell you not to be a pig, but you don't listen. It's clear that 100 points in the realm of real gods can solve things, you have to add 100 more points. Point. Vados stared at Mels Myers angrily. You still want to talk about me? Didn't you believe it at the time? Does hindsight make sense now? At this moment, Son Gohan's breath burst out again, and he ran to hang Beerus again. Bardock hurried forward to stop. You grandson, don't you know that Beerus only has 20% of his strength? It's enough to hang and beat people once, come back. Do you believe that people will retaliate against you in the future? Bardock took Son Gohan back. After all, the betting game of the angels is over, and there is no point in playing anymore. Bardock is really afraid that Son Gohan will be killed by Beerus in a rage. Also, don't you know who sealed your Uncle Piccolo? I know, but I dare not say. That's right, Beerus also had a bruised nose and a swollen face at this time, and Beerus looked miserable. He performed well and didn't use more than 20% of his strength. Roger nodded Beerus with satisfaction. I've been beaten like this. This kid named Sun Wukong, I remember you. By the way, what happened this time is my idea, so you are not allowed to have the idea of revenge. Roger told Beerus. By _S___. How, do you have any opinion? Roger narrowed his eyes slightly. No, of course not. Bizons gritted his teeth. Roger's scepter flashed with flame, and he hit the void out of thin air. Suddenly, Piccolo's body slowly condensed and formed quickly, and Piccolo's body returned to its original appearance. The next moment, Piccolo opened his eyes. Uncle Bick. Sun Wukong was surprised and delighted, and hurried up. Piccolo took a deep look at Sun Wukong, and his eyes were filled with joy and freedom. Finally free. Even Piccolo had tears streaming down her face. You don't know how painful it is after being sealed. The moment Piccolo was unsealed by Roger, Piccolo received a voice transmission from Roger and asked him to act in a play. If he performed well, he could be given freedom and no longer care about his past. Mistakes. Piccolo heard that this scene was also related to Gohan's ability to become stronger. Naturally, he agreed without hesitation. So Piccolo rushed towards Beerus. At the moment of contact with Beerus, directly chose to self-destruct at least, and the illusion caused to Son Gohan was that Beerus slapped Piccolo to death. Gohan, thank you. Vic patted Son Gohan's head. It's Uncle Roger who should be thanking him. Son Gohan stepped forward and bowed to Roger, begging for flowers. Vic. I was clearly sealed by him. Thinking of this, Piccolo suddenly found that Roger's sharp eyes were looking at him. I sealed myself by myself. I seal myself. Piccolo hurriedly hypnotizes himself. Subsequently. Thanks. Vic came up obediently, and also saluted Roger. Let's move on to the next game. Roger didn't hold Piccolo, and waved his hand to Vados. Weiss. Myers. In the first game, Vados and Myers already owe Roger 100 points each. The next game. Angel shivered. Rose sighed slightly. I want to marry Roger, but you guys don't listen. You have to play the realm of straight gods with him. Ruo-C thinks the brothers and sisters are too stupid. I'll marry him directly, and then I will get divorced, and the property will be divided by more than half. Why don't you understand what I mean? Vados, Weiss, and Myers winked at each other. In the next game, you can no longer listen to Roger's tricks. In any case, don't use the realm of true gods as a bet. The second game is to eat one cut and grow one's wisdom. The 6th universe's Kair player competes with the 7th universe's Sun Wukong player. Weiss announced good, it's my turn. Sun Wukong nodded and flew into the ring. Kair also landed directly opposite Sun Wukong. Game start. Vados said. The two gods of destruction sounded the gong at the same time. Time stop 1 inch. Roger waved his hand lightly to stop time. Roger, no matter what you say this time, it is absolutely impossible for us to bet on you with the realm of true gods. Vados snorted. Yes, Roger. Weiss nodded. Neither will I, Myers replied. Are you out of your mind? Roger reprimanded. You think about it for yourself. Am I going to be with you? Vados, your 100-point true god domain is the tuition fee of Myers, okay. Vados. What you said makes sense. I don't know how to respond. You are a genius, remember in a second. Chapter 297 Brawly. Haha, there is a grassland on Kair's head. Myers, do you think I'm going to bet? I just said, I can increase the strength of Sun Wuhan 5 times in 1 minute. You don't believe it. I also advised you. I said that you must bet against me. I don't like elite competitions. Roger let out a long sigh, showing helplessness on his face. The result. The result is that you have to exchange your unbelief with 100 true god domain. Myers. Myers is speechless. Myers thought about it. It seemed that Roger was saying this and I could testify for Roger. Ruo-C stood by Roger's side. This time, it's really not what Roger wanted to bet on. In fact, it doesn't seem to be what Roger meant. The three of us stared together. Silly sister. Although it was not proposed by Roger, it was all guided by him, okay. Originally, we agreed that in the first game, the one who lost the 930s would sing. Roger changed the subject, but the first game was a draw, so let's forget it. We'll make a decision in the second game, just like before, just send a representative of the losing side to sing a song. This can have. Vados nodded. Kel was taught by me personally. I chose Kai to win and I naturally chose Mr. Wukong. Weiss smiled. I also choose Mr. Goku. Myers replied. Myers, you forgot. Sister Zhu is paying your tuition to the realm of the true gods. Vados stared at Sister. This has nothing to do with tuition, okay. Myers smiled wryly. Forget it, do whatever you want, white-eyed wolf. Vados sighed. Then, I can only stand on my sister's side. Ruo-C looked left and right, and chose my good sister from the Vados team. Vados stroked Ruosi's long hair and looked at Roger. Roger, what do you think? I forget it this time. I will not choose. You play. Roger pondered and said no. Must choose. Vados and Ruosi shouted together. Okay, okay, I'm standing with the seventh universe. Roger Doan is about to sing. Vados smiled. Good to say. Roger nodded, no objection. With a wave of Roger's hand, time resumed its normal operation. Let us start. Sun Wukong has never been soft on women. In his eyes, only the warrior Sun Wukong directly opened the second rank of Super Saiyan. Kair sneered, and the green flames bloomed around him. Endless breath emerged from Kair's body. Kyle directly transformed into the legendary Super Saiyan. At the same time, Kale's hair stood up high and turned green. Under the guidance of Vados, Kaylee can remain sane after becoming the legendary Super Saiyan. What is this transformation? Why is your brain so green? Brawly exclaimed that everyone turned to Brawly, and they were speechless. What are they looking at you? What are they looking at me? Brawly was puzzled. Don't you know what you look like after your transformation? Bardock was tired and didn't know. Why should he know? Brawly refuted Bardock. You don't look in the mirror after your transformation. Even if you don't look in the mirror, you don't see yourself in the mirror of the lake or something. Not to mention, this hair is green, is it green? Brawly thoughtfully Bardock. Gita. Fool, this is how you transformed, okay. Said Bardock. Brawly glanced at Bardock. Stop teasing, Bardock, you are jealous of me, so you are making fun of me. Brawly stared. Bardock. Who is jealous of you? Is there a mirror? Brawly looked around. As soon as Vados stretched out his hand, there was a mirror in his hand. Brawly changed his strongest state, facing himself in the mirror. Brawly had long green hair on that end, and knelt all of a sudden. Is the grassland on my head too? Whoever dares to green me, I will destroy him. Brawly shouted that Bardock was speechless. Who is so green with you? Suddenly, I don't have a girlfriend yet. Brawly scratching his head Bardock Roger. Vados. Everyone present was speechless. Zero Brawly, why did you still bring the show? Now it's the battle between Kair and Sun Wukong. Piccolo, tell me now, what is green him? Sun Wukong asked Piccolo. You ask me, how do I know? Piccolo gave Sun Wukong a white-eyed meal, you know. Sun Wukong asks Gohan again. Sun Wukong shook his head blankly. I'm only 11 years old, okay. Dad, is it the right question for you to ask? Bardock. How come this stupid son doesn't even know this kind of question? Right and right Brawly, you actually integrated into this world at a very fast speed, but you, the children are so old, you still don't know this kind of thing. If it wasn't for the Saiyan bloodline on Sun Wuhan's body, Bardock was even thinking about whether Sun Wukong flew into the ring from Bardock, got close to Sun Wukong's ear, and explained in a low voice. Is this green? So puzzling. Sun Wukong held his chin in silent meditation, then silently looked at Piccolo. Piccolo, is your skin green? Is it also green? Shut me up, Big said angrily. How about the game? Why discuss my hair color? You think I'm going to have green hair? The legendary Super Saiyan. Not easy to do. Sun Wukong scratched his head, and immediately raised his vigilance, and directly became the Super Saiyan God. 5.6 Kel is very fast, and it quickly appeared beside Sun Wukong. I pressed it on Sun Wukong's head. This is my style of play. Brawly whistled. Hey, this uncle, shut up for me, you're affecting my game. Kel was so angry that his face was not very good looking. Brawly shut up quickly and looked at the angels secretly. Fortunately, the angels didn't mean to embarrass him, but Brawly breathed a sigh of relief. Although Kale has become the legendary Super Saiyan, compared with Brawly, both in terms of energy and speed, there is a little difference. The battle with Sun Wukong lasted for about 10 minutes, and Sun Wukong used his speed to throw a large chunk of Kair off the platform. You are a genius, remember in a second. Chapter 298 Weiss. I am very good at singing. Hateful. Kao's eyes widened with anger. Give it up, Kaylee. Sun Wukong grinned. I will not admit defeat. Kair gritted his teeth, the energy in his body burst out again, and the well flew away in the direction of Sun Wukong. Unfortunately, Kair is going to lose. Have you two decided who will sing? Roger looked at Vados and Ruosi and asked with a smile. Who said my sister and I would lose? No one can tell until the end of the game. Ruosi snorted and I said it's a pity, it's not just that Kair lost the game, but also her tutoring. I still don't talk about it, it seems like I'm showing off when I talk too much. Luo Jie said half of what he said, and stopped talking. Vados was crazy. You're done talking. You mean, there's something wrong with my teaching guide? Vados looked at Roger with a dark face. In the previous guidance of Sun Wuhan, Vados felt that Roger's main advantage was that he knew Sun Wufan when he was very young. Roger is too familiar with Sun Gohan. Does he know how to boost his energy? If it is, I am more familiar with Kale than you. Do you dare to say that I am not good at teaching Kale's 30 courses? Then tell me, what is the level of my teaching guidance to Kair this time? Vados looked at Rovies with a smile and couldn't help winking at Vados. Sister, don't listen to him fooling around. Myers, that's a lesson in the past. Weiss, you don't have your eyes. I know what you're trying to say. Sister is measured, Vados said directly to Weiss. Roger, tell me, I'm very curious, what grade did you rate my teaching guide this time? Vados looked at Roger with a black face. Well, not bad, barely reaching the advanced level. Roger nodded and commented, if it were you, it would be God level again. Vados smiled and you were right. Roger nodded. Well, if you can increase Kair's strength 5 times in 1 minute, like the Sun Gohan just now, I'll give you another 100 true God domain. Vados gritted his teeth, I still don't believe it. From what I know about Kair, you can make her 5 times stronger, that's weird. Vados, it is meaningless for you to say that. Roger shook his head, what am I doing in so many true God domains? Do you really think that if you give me another 100 points of true God domain, I will be able to be moved? So what do you want? As long as I can do it, I can promise you anything. Vado's black-eyed sister, Shen Yu. Weiss, eyelid discoloration. Shut up, Bardos shouted. It's over, my sister is going to lose again. Why don't you stay with me for 1 night? Roger thought about you. Vados blushed and glared at him. Haha, just kidding, I just remembered, I don't like Smurfs. Roger scratched his head and Vados was so angry. I accompany you. Ruosi hurriedly took the initiative to ask Yang. Go, what do you know, little brat? Roger scolds. Vados. Little kid. Ruosi is over 100,000 years old. On the Tree of Angels, it actually counts as age. I fight with you. Ruosi gritted her teeth, pounced on Roger, and bit Roger's shoulder hard. Rose's tooth is broken. Ruosi let go of Roger, and the teeth automatically recovered. Hey, it's better than lame. Jose said proudly. Vados Myers. Silly sister, your teeth are broken, are you still enjoying it? Don't you know your teeth can break? This sister must have enough brains. Roger, don't digress. Do you dare to compete? Vados asked again. All right, 100 True God Realm. Roger thought for a while, then nodded lightly and made up his mind. Vados replied. Well, that's for sure. Roger replied, in a minute, I'm going to make Kaylee 5 times stronger. Good. If you can't do it, just give me 100 True God domain. Vados said it was easy. Roger readily agreed. Don't ink the two of you, and quickly decide the winner. Vados said to Sun Wukong and Kair. Sun Wukong. Kel. We are props. Well, then I'm welcome. As Sun Wukong said, his expression suddenly became serious and booming. Sun Wukong's whole body is full of blue flames. Super Saiyan Blue. This kid Kakarot can already turn into blue. Vegeta glanced at Sun Wukong, and muttered in his heart that the situation was not very good. If this continues, I will be surpassed by him one day. I'm coming. After Sun Wukong turned into Super Saiyan Blue, he attacked Kaylee. After all, Kair is a lot worse in speed. It is difficult to attack Sun Wukong. Monkey King is pressing step by step, and Kair retreats step by step. Just when Kair was about to fall out of the ring, he saw Sun Wukong's body violently, wishing that the blue flame on Sun Wukong's body suddenly collapsed. Sun Wukong went from Super Saiyan Blue directly into Super Saiyan God. Good chance. Kel's double sass shine. Kair suddenly learned the past and hit Sun Wukong's. Sun Wukong spit out a mouthful of sour water. Kale took the opportunity to kick out. Sun Wu made a move in the air, and his body slipped backwards. Scoff. Sun Wukong's feet left a long mark on the ring. The next moment, Sun Wukong's feet stopped at the edge of the ring. Hoo. It's dangerous and dangerous. Sun Wukong glanced back. Almost fell. You lose, Uncle Sun Wukong. Kel grinned long. Kyle stomped his foot. When it clicked, the ground of the broadcasting station where Sun Wukong was located cracked. Sun Wukong falls to the ground. Not good. Sun Wukong also reacted very quickly, hurriedly flew up, and Kair had been prepared for a long time, and kicked out. With a muffled sound, Sun Wukong fell to the sidelines and was eliminated. In the second game, the Kale player of Universe 6 won. Vados laughed and announced that this kid was careless. Bizens said with a dark face. See it. Weiss nodded. Sun Wukong is absolutely careless. Otherwise it is impossible to lose the game. Do you want to sing first, or let Roger teach Kyle first? Vados asked with interest. Sing first. Weiss nodded. Ahem, I'm very fond of singing. You are a genius, remember in a second. Chapter 299. Roger. It doesn't seem to work. Weiss already had an extra microphone and an acoustic purple in his hands, and Weiss used his piercing toneless voice to start howling Dahao. Singing ghouls. Everyone covered their ears with their hands. So ugly. Roger. Roger vaguely remembers hearing Wes sing on the computer animation in his previous life, and now he feels like he is there. Straight as hell. Everyone is falling apart. It's so tortuous. Even Elephant Pa and Beerus were sung. Weiss cleared his throat. Better than lame. Wes, you can go and sing with Roger in the future. Vados smiled like Roger. My singing is very beautiful, right? Roger's face darkened instantly when Weiss laughed. If you dare to come and sing for me, I will definitely kill you. So, let's move on to the next link. Vado thinks that he has finally found a way to deal with Roger, and if he has nothing to do, let Weiss go to Suji to sing, it will definitely make Suji sick to death. At the same time, Kair won a game, and she was still very happy. Okay, get ready to count. Roger greeted Vados. Vagus already has too much in his hands. Ramados put the hourglass on the ground. Kel, this angel will increase your strength by at least 5 times. Roger said, and put his hands on Kaylee's body, and then Roger didn't move. Kel was stunned for 10 seconds after. Don't move, it won't work if you move around. Shouted Roger to Kaylee. Kair didn't dare to move and stood there. Get ready to boost your energy. Shouted Roger. The sand in the hourglass is gone. All right, now that your energy is up, Kale, you can try it. Roger to Kaldor Vados Myers. Is this the end? The rest of the people present were speechless. Just point your hand at Kair, and then Kair's strength can be increased by 5 times. It's too magical. Vados doesn't believe. Because Vados has guided Kale with potential energy, which is similar to the guidance method of the old King of the Gods. Therefore, even if Roger guides, it is impossible for Kale to raise Kale's energy again in such a short period of time. How do you feel? Has the strength increased? Vados asked if it really improved. Why do I feel like my body doesn't seem to have changed? Kale whistled, a little confused. There is no change, try it to know. Roger took a look at Brawly and Bardock. I will be your opponent. Brawly came out. Behind again. Brawly turned directly into the legendary Super Saiyan, and he waved at Kale without hesitation. He transformed into the legendary Super Saiyan, with green flames blooming all over his body, and Kale moved towards Bro. In the direction of Lee, a powerful Yishui was bombarded. This punch shook the sky and the earth, with endless energy. Brawly used his arm to block Kale's attack, and his body remained motionless but pressed tightly. Brawly seemed to suddenly think of something. Brawly let out a miserable cry, and the whole person flew backwards to Brawly's body. It crossed an arc in the air and fell to the ground, spitting out a mouthful of blood. It's amazing. My legendary super demi-human is actually no match for this girl Salmon. Brawly stunned Vados Myers. Just dress it up. We are angels. It's hard for us to see that you're pretending. Are you still bleeding? Can you spray blood with this level of attack? Brawly, get up. Roger smiled at Rob Rowley. They know you're faking it. There's no need to lie about this kind of thing. However, Roger still appreciates Brawly's approach and cultivate it well in the future. This kid still has great potential. Or, let Brawly be the god of destruction in his new universe. Good day 1. The response is fast. BB go be obedient. Roger was a little excited for a while. Vegeta shivered uncontrollably. What does Roger look like? Why did he look at Brawly more appreciatively? Could it be that he wants Brawly to take my place? Vegeta suddenly felt that the whole person was not very calm. Brawly scratched his head, and stood up embarrassed. Roger, what do you say? Vados stared at Roger. Vados and Weiss with a smile, and Kale's strength has not improved at all. It is strange that he can improve. I can't even improve Kale. Can you think that you can make Kale's strength improve by pointing your hand to Kale? Strange, it can be improved obviously. How did you do it? Roger's face is not very good looking. Minutes are up, why don't I give you another minute? Vados's happy face bloomed. Finally. This angel is finally here. This is not a dream. I finally got morning Roger. Vados was so excited that he almost burst into tears. Not easy, not easy. The vicissitudes of life. I finally got Roger once. It's not easy. I know I will win. Roger, you know Son Gohan, but you don't know Kale. Although you also know the Brawly of your universe, Kale is a woman, and they are also the legendary Superfee, but they are not the same as women, and they know women better. Real. Roger was slightly startled, looked at Vados. Good, can you really give me another minute? Elder sister. Weiss was shocked. Take it when you see it. You can be the first one among the many angels to win against Roger. How dare you give Roger an extra minute? Do you want to return the true God realm you got? Shut up. I know the measure. Vados knew what Weiss was going to say, and immediately reprimanded Dawes for not speaking. I can give you one more minute, provided that there is another 100 true God realm. Badoxin said to Roger with a smile. Vados, you are so black. Roger said with a black face. You can think about it. Vados smiled like a flower. Roger, what are you afraid of? You have so many realms of gods, many of them are one, and the competition with my sister is just Ruosi fanning the flames. You were right. Roger nodded. If that's the case, then I'll just say. Roger took out the IOU from Vados and threw it away. You are a genius, remember in a second. Chapter 300. You look so good when you smile, like a spring flower. Vados grabbed the IOU, a little unable to react. No more debts, Vados. Roger smiled. I lost. Vados looked at Roger without blinking, and at the IOU in his hand. I really wasn't dreaming. I really got Roger. This is my IOU. I actually won. Vados directly turned the IOU into slag. Vados was about to cry. Happiness comes too suddenly. Me. I finally got one old ancestor. Why does Angel Vados look so excited? Xian asked in a low voice. She just took IOU back. Is it so exaggerated? What do you know, boy? Before that, Angel Vados lost all the valuable things on his body to Angel Roger. Didn't he see the 100 points of True God domain he just lost and also made an IOU? The old Kaiwang god explained. not only Angel Vados, Angel Weiss and Angel Mels also lost all valuable things on their bodies to Angel Ruosi. The king god asked. She didn't seem to lose anything, but the cause of the whole thing seems to have started from the first meeting between Joss and Roger Angel. Old World 313 King Shinto. Old man, you mean, Wes lost everything to Roger? Beerus pricked up his ears and heard the words of the old Kaiwang god. Yes, Old Realm King nods. Including Wes' scepter? Asked Beerus. The Old World King nodded again. I said that the scepter of Shang's doesn't look the same as before. This pondered and mourned. Roger, there are times when you lose. Vados happily patted Roger's shoulder. Vados, I am letting you, can't you see it? Roger sighed and forgot, who would believe it? Vados hummed. You see, if I tell the truth, you don't believe me. Roger shook his head. Well, then tell me, why did you let me? Vados asked. How beautiful you look when you smile, like a spring flower. Roger Dabados blushed suddenly. I let you win, you laughed. I'm looking at the spring flowers, isn't it just 100 points in the realm of true gods? It's worth it to make me pleasing to the eye. Roger said solemnly. HMPH, if you fool Ruosi with your words, Ruosi might die happy. Ben Angel has lived for so long, I don't believe it. Lose is lose. Find another reason to say you want to see me laugh. Roger, if you want to make me laugh, you will return all my things to me. I will smile at you every day, and blossom with you every day. Vados winked at Roger. Don't want to. Didn't you say that you let me on purpose? Vados asked with a smile. You is right, but if you ask me to give it back to you, it's not enough. Roger shook his head. And you laugh a lot, and your face is prone to wrinkles. Vados. I am an angel, where did my wrinkles come from? Hello number 1 ahem. Let's move on to the next game, shall we? The Boo player in our universe seems to be asleep, Weiss coughed, reminding. If you keep talking like this, do you still want to play? Keep going. Vagus is in a better mood. Roger rolled Vados a glance. Let Vados and the others have some sweets. How can they play with themselves if they always lose? Better let them win too. Anyway, Roger didn't suffer. They are all IOUs, and nothing will be lost. We ended up with a third match, Kai from Universe 6 versus Little Boo from Universe 7. Weiss announced. Kyle is back on the shaker again. Boo didn't move, he was dozing down below, whistling his nose. Little Boo player, it's your turn to play. Weiss didn't say anything BCEE to Little Boo, and it seemed that he really slept on bees. After the big game, we left all the players who lost and destroyed them, not a single one was left. Roger said to Beerus that Goku's face changed color. Real or fake? Am I going to be destroyed by Beerus-sama? By the way, what about a draw? Asked Beerus. Is a draw a victory? Asked Roger. Beerus shook his head. If it doesn't count, you know what to do. Roger said. Okay, I see. Beerus nodded. Sun Wukong also shivered. Little Boo, who was having a meal, suddenly raised his ears and opened his eyes calmly. Boo quickly stepped onto the shaking table. Shredded. Little Boo is a series of hanging attacks on Kale. Kaylee, the game hasn't started yet, okay. Forget it, the game is over, let's play it like that. Vados greeted the two people on the broadcast vocal. Unacceptable. I'm not ready yet. Are you going to continue gambling? Roger, what do you think of this game? Badoston came to be interested. Little Boo's strength has improved a lot. Was it taught by Whis? Roger looked at Weiss, but didn't let the time stop. Yes. Weiss nodded. Forget it, I still won't say it. Roger hesitated. Aha, Weiss is not fooled, you talk about it, Roger, let's learn. Vados is in a hurry, don't tell me what I'm going to do next. You say. Well, then I'll post my humble opinion. Roger's tone of voice has become much more low-key, and he pondered, I think, Whis' teaching guidance to Little Boo can only be regarded as intermediate. Weiss was about to speak, but was interrupted by Vados. Vados came directly to a time stop. Now the little Boo and Kaylee on the stage are fighting fiercely. If the fight continues like this, there will be nothing to play. That said, if Roger were to guide little Boo, wouldn't it be God level again? Vados said with a smile that it's hard to say. Roger shook his head. You say, what level is it? Badoston was interested. This time I'm a little more modest. Roger pondered. God level early, Bados Myers. God level early stage is not God level. Are you being low-key? Ruosi looked east and west. So boring. Can you not play tutoring? I can't do this. You don't believe it. Roger looked at Vados and the others in amazement. You are a genius, remember in a second.